Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another Drifter D video, a long form video. Your boy got your boys Rdnracing in the house, and we got Black Bandit / Gabriel. I told balik the intro already. I already cocked up the intro. But yeah, we got your boys Redwan and Gabriel in the house.
Hey yo!
So as y'all can see from the title, obviously, today we're gonna do a diecast tier list. But for the longest time, this one is gonna be a very proper, rigid ranking. Hey, Gabriel, you wanna?
Yeah. So I think the also I'm taking credit for the script that they're using right now.
We have a computer in the background.
So I mean, obviously I love someone who is a collector and customizes cars. I've watched a lot of tier lists that have been done about diecast, right? And I thought in 2025. It's really important that we put out a good list because there have been so many developments in the 164 space. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into it obviously, but I just felt that, and I mean, I'm not targeting anyone here or overly critical of anyone here, but I think a lot of diecast tier lists that are done are based on feels, and they're very inconsistent. So they'll put resins alongside diecast. They'll put 1/18s alongside 112s or 124s and 143s, and I'm like, that's really not fair.
And to be fair, I'm a bit guilty of that. In my previous year diecast list is a bit of that. I tried to be very critical, but it wasn't consistent. So I think this is the one that
So we thought let's try and make it as objective and as well researched as possible. Maybe our value add here is that we produce a tier list that is superbly comprehensive and as fair as possible.
Yes, that's right.
We all have our biases, but I hope this tier list is as fair as possible.
I mean, this is entirely 164 scale.
Yeah,
review,
164 only.
Right, but if you guys for some reason like this video and you want us to dive into other skills, I think that's something we can do in the future. I think, albeit we don't really have. I mean, I don't have that big of a 118 collection.
Same.
I know Gabriel does, right?
Yeah.
Beyond's got a decent amount as well. But obviously it's something that we would like to.
I wouldn't mind, but if you want that now, you're in the wrong channel.
You
can go ahead and click off the video.
After you like the video, but
and subscribe to all of us.
Obviously with this being just a 164 scale, I think it makes sense because all three of us are in that niche in a sense, right? Obviously he does content, I do content, and then Gabriel does customize. And for those that don't know, he's actually a customizer, by the way. For those that have seen him in our past Grill Out episodes, right? Yeah, he was there where we introduced him as well, and he always travels with us for all the different diecast events. So I think this video would give you a very wide perspective, right?
Yes.
Because obviously we come from the creator side of
creators,
things, right?
Then he's the
customizer, and then obviously our creatives are also very different. So I'm quite excited to see where this is gonna head. Right.
Yeah, me too.
To make this a lot more structured, once again Gabriel has come up with a few criterias. Right? So Bjorn, you want to start the criteria?
Okay, so for the review criteria, firstly, realistic details. How realistic are the details of the brand's cars? Do these details hold up over time? Is it over designed? Next criteria is the packaging. Although it's not the main focus of the diecast model, I think it's worth mentioning because some brands do put in a lot of effort with the packaging, so we cannot ignore it. Followed by the quality control. The car can be nice and all, but sometimes
Singaporean collectors, this is something we
it's
are
a big deal.
very
particular about. For me, not personally, but for most people, for most collectors, it's fair. QC is important, right? Next is the value. You can you can have $100 car, right? But if it's not worth the value, then I think there's no point in that. So we need to consider the value of the.
And also, is there a market for these models? Do their prices immediately drop the moment you buy them?
Right.
Or maybe they'll go down, but then they'll go up a little bit, right? Or they retain their value throughout.
Correct. And just to add on to his point, it's not about investing or what. It's just there's no point buying a car that will just suddenly drop in value when you buy it. So you need.
Unless you love it a lot.
Yes, unless you love it a lot. Variety, does this brand just make JDM cars? Or do they make a wide various? I'm not pointing at a particular brand.
An agreement.
On this. But this is a real thing, so we're gonna dive deep into that. And lastly is the brand engagement and after sales. Whether it's about marketing or whether you see them at events. I think there's a few factors to this. We'll elaborate on that later on.
So that's more of the review criteria, right? Now, for grading, we're gonna stick to the basics, right? We're not gonna give you like out of 100 or whatever. It's gonna be a simple S, A, B, C, and D, right? now we are not gonna dive into like Fs or Es, right?
No, there's no need.
Because we're gonna cover that in our disclaimer, right? Which is right here. So a little disclaimer. You want to take the disclaimer? Yeah.
So I think for the disclaimer, so I think this is gonna be a little bit. It's gonna take some time, but we do need to explain this because obviously the model car scene has blown up in the last few years, right? I mean, since COVID. So I think we need to be very clear. Firstly, that we're only talking about 164 die-cast models. That is the big, most important thing. We are not comparing resins.
Nope.
We're not comparing different scales. It is just not fair, and it doesn't help anybody. Honestly, like, I'm not a content creator myself, but as someone who watches a lot of content creators who review models, there is no point comparing resins and die-cast models. You're comparing apples to oranges. It just
No, it's not even apples and oranges. You're comparing like a shiny red apple to like 1p, you know, like
yeah. I mean, whatever. Yeah, what he said. They'll get it. So.
Yeah. So no, it's interesting, right? But yeah, what else? Okay, what
so
else?
I think the other thing is like tune cars, right? Product lines that even though they're licensed, like I'm gonna give an example: Cartoon, Cube cars.
Yeah,
they're great. We love them. We've all got their models.
I like cartoon also. Yeah, you know.
But I think just to be very fair, we're only covering the real scale stuff.
Yeah.
Right. The real scale stuff. That is very
complicated.
important. I think the other important thing is that we're not covering unlicensed brands for very obvious reasons. I don't think we need to get into why we're not covering unlicensed brands, okay? And we're also not covering licensed brands that are now defunct. So, unfortunately, an example would be Erica.
Yeah.
That brand is now defunct, right?
Missed opportunity.
Yeah. And also, some of you may ask why some models like maybe like CCA or RMZ City or Burago, why are they not here? Well, very simple. We're not covering brands that only produce toys or toy cars, right?
Agreed, yeah.
This is we're coming at this from the perspective of a young adult or adult collector who is into real scale stuff, right? So cars that represent the ones that we can see, the ones that we interact with in our daily lives, and the cars that we want.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody has a CCA model collection, right?
Yeah, if you have a CCA model in
someone in China maybe,
but someone in Philippines maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, they actually have. Yeah.
But I think just to simplify the process as much as we can, I think it's better that we don't really cover all of these, right? At the end of the day, I mean, it's just toy cars, right? So, I mean, if you go down that lane, there's just so many things for us to talk about.
Yeah,
and this will become like a 24-hour podcast video for some reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for that, dude.
So I think another important points to note is that we're also not covering like every single licensed diecast brand. So it's really only those that are readily available in Singapore and Southeast Asia. Right? So you, like, for example, one example I give is Revell. They're an amazing 164 diecast brand, but they're really only available in the US.
Yeah, even I've never heard of that brand actually. Now they mention
they're great though. They're great. They actually started the whole model kit as 164 thing before Kyosho did. But yeah, we can't cover them. Some of the like Racing Champions, Action NASCAR, very hard to cover.
That's a lot. That's more American, right?
Yeah, I mean they're very US centric, and like NASCAR 164 is very different, for example, from like real scale diecast 164.
Okay.
So again, very incomparable. Also, we're also not covering any licensed brands that only have a few 164 models.
Yeah.
So there's no point if you only have like one model. It's hard for us to really review.
Right.
It's not fair, and you don't want it. You probably don't want us to rate your brand alongside some of the titans that we're going to talk about.
Which is fair, yeah.
Yeah. Also, for our Singaporean viewers, we are also, while we'd love to cover all local diecast brands in Singapore, it's kind of not really possible because a lot of like the diecast brands in Singapore like Ariel and Ken Shop, while they do amazing work, or Masterpiece Collectibles as well, while they do amazing work, I think it's just really hard because they're not really real scale car manufacturers.
Right.
They are much more like public transport,
Singapore,
slice of life Singapore models,
Yeah.
right? So that's the kind of stuff that they do. It's a bit unfair to rate SBS buses, Mercedes Citaros with like R34 with Koenigsegg.
Think they will lose,
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Apples and oranges,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the last thing I just want to say is that we do apologize if we get any mistakes or any incorrect stuff regarding these brands.
Yes.
And while we may not own every single brand on this list in terms of like their models, we've owned, all three of us have owned all kinds of 164s.
Yeah.
So I think, we're pretty confident in our ability to kind of rate them, even though we
Yes, sir.
may not own them.
And that's why there's 3 of us here, so
Yeah.
we know a bit. Each of us know a bit of here
Yeah.
and there. So
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so very
Right.
interesting, right? Obviously, there's a lot of rules. I don't think anyone else does comparison videos that we are diecast
This is
that we
very detailed.
very detailed. So I hope you guys actually understand where we're coming from. I think that's going to be very important.
Right.
Now we've already set the criteria for this video, guys.
Okay.
Alright, so that's about the review criteria. Very, very interesting, very, very detailed, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Now, we're gonna dive right straight
Unbelievable.
because I know you guys are waiting for this. We're gonna dive right straight into the brands. Now, we also kind of, once again, courtesy of Gabriel, but we've categorized the brands based on a heading, if I may. Right? So the first, we're gonna start off with the legacy big brands.
Big brand.
Right? I'm gonna name the brands for you guys and then we're gonna dive into each of these brands, alright? So we actually have 4 brands, right?
Mm.
Hot Wheels,
Right.
Matchbox, Tomica,
Yeah.
and Majorette. Now, you guys really know that these are probably one of the biggest in a sense, right? Because
Yes, the OGs.
they serve from a very young age to us,
Like till now.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we can be like 50 years old and we'll still like get like some of
Yeah.
these brands.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they
these are-
started all of this, right?
Exactly.
All the real
Exactly.
skill brands, they wouldn't be here
Exactly.
if not for Hot Wheels.
Exactly.
Yes.
So the legacy big brand. So we're gonna start obviously with Hot Wheels, right? So Bjorn, you wanna start us off with obviously one of the biggest brands for us as in starting collectors at least.
Damn. Okay, so Hot Wheels is the king, right? I mean, I've been collecting it since 4 years old, and you guys have been collecting it for a long time.
Yeah.
So obviously, Hot Wheels got mainlines and premiums. Okay, mainlines are like very bare details, but premiums on the other end can be very, very good, especially
Yeah.
demonstrated last year. But if you average it out, okay, like Hot Wheels in terms of details is good. If you average out all the cars, I think they have good details, lah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the mainlines, at least the newer mainlines are doing quite well.
Yes,
So,
actually.
so I'm quite interested to see where Hot Wheels obviously goes in the
Yeah.
future as well.
Yeah.
So I think details wise they are
Yeah, even for
Yeah,
mainlines,
yeah,
the
yeah,
packaging
exactly.
also, all the mainlines have their own art. So
Exactly.
you gotta give Hot Wheels
going
that
props.
also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely agree with you guys. I think Hot Wheels is the packaging master, right? I
I
think
agree,
if you look
I
at the art, the amount of art that they put into their, I mean, all the real scale brands, they have great packaging, but they're just printed or 3D images. This Hot Wheels spend so much money to get artists to design their car arts.
They do.
And I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I think on with you guys on realistic details, I do think while the main lines are very much toys.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
if
all toy grade.
I don't know if you've noticed, but the newer main lines have been getting better and better. Now both
Yeah.
I've
there are lots
noticed.
of main
I've
lines.
noticed. I don't collect mainlines anymore, but I've noticed.
I mean, if you just take one of the packs, you'll find that a lot of them actually have both front and rear lights, right? And that's not even talking about car culture, RLC, Elite 64,
just mainlines, yeah.
right? So and Elite 64 with their all of their weird gimmicks and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, what do you
Yeah.
guys feel about the rest of the?
No, I think it's quite interesting that you mentioned it. Packaging is amazing, right?
Mm.
No, I think one thing I really want to point out is the QC of Hot Wheels, right? The quality
Oh.
control.
Okay.
Now the reason is because now you might have more knowledge than me because obviously as a customizer and stuff, right?
That's true.
But
That's true.
I feel like Hot Wheels has done a good job with the QC.
Really,
No,
the
right?
past few years,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you want to know why?
Why?
I've got 5 cars that's in my dad's dashboard in his
Ah.
car. It's exposed to sunlight every single day, and the cars are
Oh,
still
yeah,
good.
share this, share this,
Right?
yeah.
So I mean they don't get affected very easily,
Right.
right? They obviously maintain the toy grade, and it's also obviously now with Hot Wheels being where they're a lot more of like they do have the collector vibe to it as well,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So I think QC wise, I think Hot Wheels is very well.
I think I agree. I
Right.
think also the past few years I don't notice much more errors
Yeah.
nowadays. I remember last time I will buy the car and then the tempo slide or missing.
Yeah.
But nowadays
Yeah.
I don't think I
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
too much of
exactly,
that. So I agree with
exactly,
Erdogan. The
exactly.
QC is quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the main lines have plastic. Have painted headlight and real light
Yeah, like
temples,
which
right?
Gabriel said, which
So
is true. Yeah.
obviously they are pixelated because it is in a large scale, but it's actually well done. It's not
So
mismatched,
well done, lah,
Yeah.
yeah.
right? For what it's worth, for its
Mhm.
value, well done.
Cannot
Right,
argue
you
with
can't
the
argue
cheap
that, exactly.
price point. I guess $1 plus. Yeah.
I guess I'll add in by saying that the only thing about I agree with you guys on journey on the QC. It's a lot better than the last few years.
Better,
Yes.
lah.
They've definitely
More
put in
better.
money.
More better.
More better.
Yeah. And I mean they've raised, they know that there's competition, and even their main lines they're putting in more effort in. Not like to the point where they're real skill, but still pretty good, right?
It's still good, lah. Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
I think value wise, the only thing is that like obviously even some of the car culture RLCs and Elite 64s, even the real scale stuff, right? Mainlands obviously they'll lose value the moment you buy them and open them up, right?
Unless it's JDM, you know.
Unless they're like in STH or they're extremely rare. But even then, right, like almost every single Hot Wheels kind of just their value just tanks the moment you buy them, right? So unfortunately, I wouldn't say value they're great, but I think also the fact that they're so accessible, right?
Yes.
And then most of them are cheap, right?
Yes.
Car cultures compared to your average like real scale car, there's a big price point difference. So yeah, I think
No, but it also says to say, there are castings that do go out in value, right?
A lot of them.
For example, in the back right, do you get to see it over there? It's right above, but it's got a collection of T1 panel buses.
Oh
Remember
yeah.
And they have appreciated in value.
Yeah.
There are a lot of castings that have appreciated. The Ferrari castings right now, they're going for a huge
Some
margin,
of them, yeah.
right? Right. The Elite 64 Ferrari that just came out is going for $80
$330 P4,
yeah.
Which blew
So
my mind.
it's insane that there are castings that still rise in value, but for the base generic castings,
Right.
they usually go like once you open it's like worth 50 cents to like nothing at all.
Yeah, for the
Right.
for the main.
So inconsistent is I guess.
Yeah, and obviously as content creators, you and I,
Right.
I think you've interacted with Hot Wheels before, and
In a way, I guess.
so what? I mean, obviously I can't speak because I have not had the interaction. But how do you think they react to influencers or content creators, if I may?
I mean, that was like a one-time thing where they did reach out to me. But for the most part, they don't engage their creators or even the collectors like most of these other brands do on the list. So a bit more on the lower side in that case. But their brand engagement is crazy lah. Like Hot Wheels is the brand that did like a double loop the loop in the middle of the town, and they do like crazy stunts, and they do the Hot Wheels Legends tour, which is cool. Which I wish they would bring to Asia. You know, so in terms of brand engagement, it is good. Maybe not so much on the content creator slash influencers.
I mean, I think Lemley is working with them.
Yeah, I think that one is given. Lemley is definitely like the GOAT. He's
yeah.
always been working with Hot Wheels for like for God who knows how long now. But I think other than him, there's really not anybody. And there's no need to, because the brand sells itself. So I really don't think there's a need for it to promote, and collaborate with creators for now.
I mean, it's a good point, right? And I think obviously being a legacy brand, I think they don't really need that much exposure, right? Because exposure just works for itself. We kind of missed one point, and that was the variety. Now, before we kind of touch on this, obviously value is associated with variety.
Really?
I feel, because when you have a huge variety of cars, it kind of allows your value to be a bit saturated in a sense, right? I might be wrong, or I might be making no sense at all, but I feel like when you have a variety of castings,
alright,
it allows for collectors to collect what they want in a sense, right? It reduces the market requirement or desire for a particular casting.
Okay, I think I get what you mean.
You kind of get what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? For example, Hot Wheels has,
All the
variety-wise, it's got everything.
almost
right?
all the car license.
Right? Be it JDM, muscle cars,
correct.
weird-ass tune cars or whatever fancy cars, right?
Yeah, toilet cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, I think the new one that's...
gotta go, yeah.
Gotta go. Yeah.
The new one that's nice is the one with the cat,
the cat,
right?
Okay, that was good. Yeah.
But they've got an insane variety, and because they've got an insane amount of variety, they cater to a much wider audience.
So there's
right?
a big market for it.
Yeah.
So the value, okay,
right?
it's all
So
coming
the
together.
value is saturated that way, right?
correct.
Because not everyone is fighting for that one particular cast. So I think variety-wise, I mean, that's my opinion. I think they are.
No, I agree. I have no qualms about that. They have a wide variety.
No, I mean, as a muscle car guy, like I Hot Wheels. Okay, if you like muscle cars, and especially if you live in like Southeast Asia where the interest isn't that big, Hot Wheels is a brand that you kind of have to be invested in to some extent, right? Like they don't just offer like stock muscle cars, but like modified ones. I mean, which other real scale brand does that? Almost none of them, right?
No.
Even the ones that make a lot of muscle cars don't really do that. So I think it's great, and I love the variety. Okay, and generally I agree with you guys on the rest of the points. So with that, you guys want to give Hot Wheels a rating?
Now, one thing before we can give the rating,
Okay.
but one thing Hot Wheels has also done is they've moved from just cars. They do the trucks now.
They do trucks, buses,
That's fine.
Right.
motorbikes,
Right.
planes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They have a premium lineup on the. I think it was a helicopter. Is it?
They have
The
helicopters too.
premium release.
Which is a cool touch, but
I think
I think
on
I
the
wouldn't
Airwolf.
I wouldn't really include it in the ranking. Like it's just
Yeah.
nice to mention that.
yeah, so
But I get where you're
it's
coming from.
just
Yeah.
like an honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Yeah.
Kind of thing. But it just goes to show how much of a variety they have.
They do lah. That one cannot deny. Yeah.
And they're at such a high level that they're willing to try like experimental stuff like this. You get what I mean?
I get what you mean.
So it's very interesting that way. So with that being said, like Gabriel mentioned just now, are we guys ready to give
The ranking.
the rankings?
If you ask me, okay, I know last time I gave Hot Wheels an F.
Oh,
That's because one of the criteria that we didn't talk about is how corporate they've been, but that's for another video. You can watch it. But based on what the criteria we have, just on the car. Let's just focus on the car. Hot Wheels will definitely for me get an A.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason why it won't get an S is still because it has main lines, and main lines are really not the most detailed cars in the world. Obviously worth the value, but in terms of like collectible wise, you can't really. I feel like I can't really give it an S quite yet.
that's interesting, right? How about you, Gabe?
I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna give him a B. I think Hot Wheels is the definition of a B. I think they're good. I do, however, notice that they are kind of becoming they're becoming more risk averse over time, becoming more less willing to try new things. They're kind of falling back to a lot of sort of more like legacy castings that I worked on, like the R34s and whatnot. I think Ron, like for example, the addition of Ron Wong and many of his castings is great. I think the problem that I foresee with Hot Wheels is that they become they may become over reliant on his work a little bit too much, and because Ron Wong I think he's on a roll right now. He's doing a lot of castings that people have wanted for a long time, and frankly are overdue. I just am a bit worried that they become too reliant on these castings, and they don't develop, and they don't continue to take risks. We don't want to take
New ideas.
I think you're right. I think Bjorn's right as well. But for me personally, I'll give him a B.
B also.
And the reason why I give him a B is because it's very simple. Compared to them, for the price point, and let's just look at RLCs or premiums, right?
Okay.
Or high-end premium, even
Yeah.
the 64, for example.
Okay.
For that price, you guys can get other brands with a lot of much better details.
Oh yeah, the Elite 64. Yeah,
and experience,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
I mean, we right here, right in the table, we've got an Elite 64 right here, right? The size of like literally
Please,
1/6 of my
please,
palm.
No offense, but please don't buy the case.
But what I'm trying to say is, for the value, right? You guys can get other brands that's a lot better. Yeah, Hot Wheels, it's a stepping stone for everybody, right?
It is the stepping stone,
but
for everybody.
you have to leave the step, and you have to step higher. You can't,
Of course,
you can't
of
just
course.
right.
Yeah, correct.
So because of that, I'll put them a B. Obviously, like Bjorn said, they've got a huge potential. I mean, they've always had potential, but I think they're just losing the touch compared to all these other brands.
I think I agree with them. I think it's more of a B now, actually.
Oh my gosh.
No, I kind of wanted to say A first because this is the first ranking in the rank. So I thought, okay, A. Maybe it sounds like they're good. A lot of people collect it, right? It's like the number one brand in the world. But they're right. So I think it's more of a B grade. Like
That's why I think it's we can actually decide.
B plus, maybe.
I think a B plus. I think a B plus would be good.
B plus.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
not
it's on the
quite an A.
higher end of the B, right?
Yeah, correct.
So we're gonna give Hot
B+.
Wheels a final B from the few of us.
Yeah, like a high B.
High B.
Alright, so for the other three legacy brands, we have Matchbox, Tomica, and Majorette. And just to speed the video up a little bit, I think Hot Wheels is definitely like the king, right? So that's why we spend more time on it. But for the next three brands, we're gonna take turns talking about it, starting with Matchbox.
Yep.
So, Gabriel?
So I want to talk about Matchbox because I particularly really like Matchbox.
Yeah.
So I think
sister brand.
as a sister brand to Hot Wheels,
Yeah.
and formerly they were actually Hot Wheels' main competitor, right?
Right, yeah.
Until they were bought over by Hot Wheels all those years ago.
By Mattel.
Yeah, I think one thing about Matchbox is that they are kind of like Hot Wheels but for grown-ups. And I really like that because like all of their casting, even their fantasy castings are based off very, very much real scale cars that you see every day.
Garbage
Like,
trucks,
Yeah,
fire trucks.
yeah, garbage trucks, logging
Gabriel is right, yeah.
vehicles, national park vehicles, right?
Right.
And I really like, one thing I love about the main lines is that while yes, they're still main lines and they're still very simple, they put in so much effort in designing stuff that's still real scale, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
it can be played as a little kid, but as an adult collector, you can also put it in your display case and go, wow, that's actually a great casting.
right.
And a lot of their main lines, even before Hot Wheels started to do this, had both rear and front lights and details. Okay?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Jurassic Park lineup.
Oh, when that came out, that was hot, man.
Yeah,
that was
it
hot.
was hot.
Yeah.
I think it was a nice one. But yeah, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Gabe.
No,
All
it's-
yours.
So I think being said, I think realistic details obviously they're great.
Okay.
Packaging not too bad. I mean not as cool as Hot Wheels, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Right. You get what you pay for. You see what it's the product is displayed very clearly in their packaging.
Yeah,
Quality
clear-cut.
control is okay, about the same as Hot Wheels. Value about the same
price,
as well.
It's the same price point
Yeah,
as Hot Wheels.
maybe slightly worse because the
Yeah,
cars aren't as like wow or like popping.
I would
That's
say
just
it's
Hot
slightly
Wheels.
worse. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
yes, it
true.
is.
Value
Variety is
wise.
great. They have a lot of hot cars that like Hot Wheels doesn't touch, right?
Correct.
And brand engagement and after sales, not too bad. I mean, I would love to one day go to the Matchbox International Gathering of Friends,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is the Matchbox convention.
Convention.
And some of Matchbox convention cars, like the International Gathering of Friends cars, can sell for a lot of money.
Oh yeah, I've seen some
Yes,
of those.
because
yeah.
they're
But
extremely
that's
rare.
just one casting, right? I mean,
Just one event.
Yeah, it's just an event car that obviously goes for a high price. So
Yeah.
it's something that obviously we got to factor
Yeah.
into our
Yeah.
final scores as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, correct.
Now, that being said, I think Matchbox is also the definition of a B, maybe
Oh.
a B plus if we were to be fair. I do think the big problem why I'm not going to give them an A is that while like their premium stuff and some of their like I don't correct me, I forgot
Opening
the,
parts or
yeah,
whatever.
the opening parts of
sort
like the
premium-
the equivalent of the RLC
the
line.
Metal Creations RLC equivalent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While they're good, I do think
Yeah.
once again because they're based off the main lines,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of
they're
complaints,
still a
lot of
little bit too
complaints.
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few of them, but yeah, I think they're very much a definition of a B.
I have a few of them also. Yeah.
I mean, I would give them a C honestly, and I think because they lose a lot of value over time,
I see.
right? The Metal Creation cars, for example, every single car
Oh.
has lost value.
Yeah.
I'm not
yeah.
trying. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to say bad things,
Yeah.
No, I mean,
but because the only reason why I own the Metal Creation cars
It's
is
not
because
you.
they've dropped in value, right? And
Yeah.
wait a minute, now it's cheap. Let me
Just
buy
get it lah.
right?
Yeah lah.
But the cars are they're decent cars,
yeah,
right?
not bad.
So I would say it's a C personally, because once again, it just falls behind all of these other brands.
I
Right.
agree. Yeah.
So he's got a B. I'm gonna C. What do you want?
I agree. No, see, I say like I said, I agree. See, for one very simple reason, if you look at the criteria, details, packaging, but everything is just one step below Hot Wheels. Brand engagement, they don't
Yeah.
do conventions. Variety, they have lesser
They
variety
want
than Hot
convention.
Wheels. I mean, just one only, right? Packaging is a step lower than Hot Wheels. Details wise,
Yeah.
okay, so it's just a step lower than Hot Wheels. So I feel like the ranking should be one step lower than Hot Wheels too. Yeah, it just
That's
feels
fair.
weird to be on the same level as Hot Wheels. Hot
Yeah.
Wheels is this big mega brand with lots of conventions and RLCs and NFTs and collaborations with Terry Fox and all those things, but
Yeah.
Matchbox just like chilling somewhere there. So I think you'll be C as well.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. So that's awesome. I mean that's nice, right? Once
Boom.
again we've arrived at a very I would say it's a fair.
Yeah, I think it's C
so like
plus.
that, right?
I'll make you feel better. C plus.
Now, next up would be Majorette.
Majorette, okay.
Now, I know that he's been very excited to talk about Majorette.
Oh, it's time for it.
Oh my god.
So,
Okay, I'll be fair, I'll be
before I
fair.
present my car or my brand,
Right.
I'm gonna give the table to him.
Okay. So for Majorette, okay, I think recently they released a new scale model, so that's good. Okay, better. Still not as good as some of the scale brands out there, but mainly they released the very chunky looking, not even 1/64. It's more like 1/57. You hold it, it's like one chocolate bar, and that's something I've always hated. Like really hated about Majorettes. When you put a Majorette car beside other brands, the Majorette looks like a monster truck beside the other
Yeah.
cars. And that's something I've repeatedly told Majorette on their social media page, like, yo, change the tooling on your cars, it looks so gigantic. But they have not done anything about that. So details wise, honestly, I really quite not really on the side with them for that.
That's fair.
Packaging wise, not the best. They usually
Yeah.
just put like a piece of paper.
It's recyclable, dude.
It's recyclable.
Save the earth, man.
Yeah, if
Come
you want
on,
to
dude.
save the earth, don't collect. Don't hobby. So it's true, save the earth, but if you want to save the earth, just don't
He
collect.
contributes to like a third of the global warming right
Yes,
now.
collectors contribute to a lot of global warming. So you can't say that.
Yeah.
But I
That's
can't
fair.
deny that also. Quality control, I'm not. I think it's fine. You know, I think sometimes there might be some like paint chips here and there, but it's good. I'm not no qualms about that. Value, at least for Singapore, they're more expensive than Hot Wheels main lines, like $7-8. Maybe I
Oh
always
my
thought
gosh,
that.
everyone.
I know in Europe it's cheaper, so maybe my European compadres might disagree with the
Yeah.
ranking because it's cheaper for them, so they might think it's more worth it. But here in Singapore, it's in Asia, actually in Asia,
Southeast Asia, Asia Pacific.
it's quite expensive.
It is
You know,
expensive.
And the
I can-
majority premiums are what, $17 now?
yeah, exactly.
The
The
new
one
line
that-
is 17
in the acrylic
bucks.
cases.
Yeah,
17 Singapore
I mean, the
dollars.
cars look nice.
Correct.
I think they're a lot better than the regular ones.
Yes.
For $17, it's
It's not
insane.
worth it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$17, 17 Singapore dollars, by the way, guys, is about maybe
A mini GT.
11 to 12 US dollars, right?
Correct.
And I don't think while Major is trying, and I can see the effort in like a real scale premium
Effort
attempt,
lah.
are their new cars worth 11 to 12 US dollars?
No.
I don't think so.
Mm.
But-
I can buy a Pop Race or a Mini GT or but Pop Race or Mini GT at that price point, right?
Yeah.
Just talk
A little
about
bit
it.
more than that.
Yeah,
Just
just
a
talk
little bit
about-
more than
yeah,
that.
a little more than
exactly.
that, you'll
So variety wise, it's okay, I guess. Like in the acrylic
Yeah,
series, they have a
it's alright.
Bugatti and then they have a JDM and a pickup truck. So
yeah.
okay, I think
That's
they're
right.
doing good.
Oh,
on
yeah, they've
that.
got a good variety, I guess.
Good variety.
Yeah, yeah,
And for brand engagement, I've seen recently that the Majorette always goes to the trade shows. They have like
Yeah.
some
yes, in Europe
in
especially.
Europe, right?
Yes, they're
So
always
they're
there.
quite active there.
They were in
But-
Germany recently, was
The
it?
Germany,
Yeah.
the Germany. I forgot the
Yeah.
name. Maybe our German compadres can help us.
I mean, there were
in the
two big
comments.
toy fairs, right? The
The toy fair, yeah.
I think the
Essen,
Essen,
Toy
the
Fair,
Essen
yes.
Toy Fair show was one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely,
even
yeah.
though we have zero, we have none of that here. I don't know. I don't know why. We still know. We still are aware that
Yes,
this.
sir,
So
yes,
we
sir.
gotta give credit to Major. For
Yeah, you gotta
that.
give credit where credit
Yeah.
is due, right? Now, with that being said,
Yeah.
just a quick run through of the brand. What's your final score on this amazing blockbuster brand?
Whoa! I think my gut feeling tells me it's C, maybe on the lower side of C. Like, is it the same level as Matchbox? I think so, because Major does better at some aspects, while Matchbox does better in other aspects, like, the value and the variety. So I think C. I'll give it a C, I think, yeah.
I think I'll give it a C as well.
C as well?
I think the reason why I give it a C is because they're trying.
Yes, I think that's one way, yeah.
Obviously the new acrylic case and everything.
It's a good effort.
They're trying. The effort's there. So you gotta give the respect to them because they know that to
There's a
certain
demand.
extent they're lacking. And
Yes.
there's a demand. So
It's a demand for...
I'm glad they're working on it. Would I pay $17 for the premium? Not a
No,
chance.
No.
But hopefully, the more they do, maybe the prices will drop and
I hope so. Or improve the details.
improve
And they're a
the
German
details.
brand. They should
Exactly.
focus on maybe like
Exactly.
German cars, like
Exactly.
a BMW or
Exactly.
Mercedes. Why are they creating NSX? Like
Exactly.
why?
Exactly.
Or Bugatti?
How about you? How about you?
I mean, generally no. I'm definitely in agreement with you guys. I think a C minus. I was maybe even thinking of a D
Right,
for
right.
Majorette, but
Yeah.
you know what? I think maybe that's a
Okay.
bit too harsh.
A bit too harsh now.
I think they are aware that the competition is ramping up,
yes.
and they're trying. And I can see the effort in the new premiums. Like I love their Shelby GT350. That's actually,
that one,
it's
that's
actually
good.
a pretty good like alternative to like a almost
The
100%.
Corvette C7 is a nice casting.
The
as well.
C6, you mean?
Oh, C6.
The
Sorry, yeah,
C6.
yeah,
That one is not bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Not
But
bad.
again, is it worth almost as much as a Mini GT? I don't
No.
think
It's
so.
not, it's
I
not.
really
Yeah,
don't.
for sure it's
No,
not.
not really.
Yeah. So I
Now-
think a C. I think a C is fair.
So I think I know all three of us are in
So that's
agreement
for
right
Major,
there.
eh?
So that brings us to our last topic.
Last legacy
Tomica.
big brand. Yes.
No, Tomica's got a wide range, just like Hot Wheels, right? We've got Tomica, we've got Tomica Legacy, is it? We've got a TLVN lineup.
Yeah, we got Tomica Premium.
Right,
We got
the
Tomica
vintage Neo, is it?
Yeah.
Neo,
TLVN is
yeah,
the
yeah,
limited
you know,
edition.
Yeah, so
the whole
we
umbrella.
gotta look at everything just to be fair, alongside the way we did with Hot Wheels.
Yes.
Now, we're gonna dive straight into the brand. Obviously, realistic details wise, now the main lines in particular, right? I think they just lack in the details,
I do.
right? And the wheels, absolute garbage.
I hate the wheels. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh, the wheels.
And I feel like
The
You can have a
the
very-
stupid barbecue pit. wheels.
Exactly.
They all have the same
And
wheels.
the thing is, you can have the best detailed car, but the moment your wheels look like that, you just
Yeah.
lose everything.
Tomica, your wheels
Right.
look like ass.
I was reading up somewhere that it's because of the working suspension that they put. You know the little
Yeah.
the little metal plate.
Yes.
As a suspension for their main lines.
Yeah.
But is it worth having
Yeah.
those horrible wheels?
Yeah.
But
take away the suspension and
Exactly.
give me real wheels any day.
exactly.
No, I can't fully agree on that. I think I love the suspension. That's
Okay.
why that's what collecting Tomica.
That's
But as a coming from an engineer, is that really a good excuse to like?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think
Exactly.
so.
I mean, the
yeah,
premiums have a decent wheel design.
yeah, those are
right?
better. So
The
much better.
TLVNs have good wheels as well. So I can never understand why the main lines refuse to have that. It's just beyond my understanding, and that's one thing that I kind of is one of the reasons why I don't collect Tomicas at all.
Yeah.
Right. Some of their premiums obviously have like the scissor doors, right?
Oh,
Which
yeah,
is-
those are nice.
And they have pop-up headlights as well.
Yes, yes.
Which is nice.
Which
Great
is-
job, Tomica.
At that
but-
price point, is
Exactly.
It's good.
But then when you look at the main lines, you look at the wheels, and oh my day, right?
Just
So that's one thing that obviously kind of bugs me. Now packaging, very standard, very basic.
they do
so
that.
right?
just cardboard.
When I started a couple years ago, or when you started at 4, it's probably the same box details as it is today.
They need to update it.
Right.
The car on the package looks nothing.
Exactly, exactly.
Like
I will
the
say I like
car.
some of the older Tomitech TLVN. Like for example, they have some of their like fire trucks. They're huge TLVN models. They're hundreds
Oh
of
yeah, those
dollars.
bigger ones.
Those
yeah.
are they actually have a drawn image of the car, and I think that's really.
I mean, those are
really-
cool, right?
But that's
yeah.
rare, right?
They
It's
they've
not
almost
common.
Yeah.
only
Like,
some of the TLVN
for the
models. have it, not
TLVNs,
all-
Exactly,
yeah.
not all
exactly.
of
So
them, yeah.
it's tough for us to appreciate the packaging that way. No, QC of the cars, I think they're okay.
I
would-
would so much things to say.
Really?
Really?
Oh my
But
gosh.
I think
Tomica is supposed to be one of the best
yeah, I mean,
In terms of
I've
QC.
never experienced any
Japanese.
QC
Japanese
issues.
people, the
No,
Japanese
no, no.
do like
Yo,
really.
as a customizer, as somebody who knows friends,
Okay,
who
okay.
knows friends who exclusively collect TLVN for many years. I
Uh-huh.
know a friend who has an entire cabinet, an entire detolf cabinet of TLVNs. Can I just say, this brand has the worst QC,
Ooh.
especially in terms
Oh,
of
paint bubble. Ah,
the brush
yes.
is bubbling.
Oh my god,
It
yes.
is so bad. I mean, maybe because TLVN and Tomicas they only been made for the Japanese market.
Oh.
My goodness.
Oh,
In
Loma.
humid
They-
countries like
No,
Singapore.
I don't know why. I'm sure they know the issue. I'm sure Tomica is aware of the issue, and Tomitech or whatever this whole umbrella brand,
called, yeah.
umbrella conglomerate.
Right.
But really, no, I'm
Umbrella
really
Academy.
sorry. This is the worst. This brand is the worst
Neutral.
QC.
I see. That's
okay.
interesting. No, value wise, I don't really think you hold up the value.
No.
Once again, it's tough, guys. Do I want to pay hundreds of dollars for a
Like last
TLVN?
time the Mazda 787B, the Tomica Did
Yeah.
you all know that the Mazda 787B, the TLVN? Last time like wow, he has a removable rear hatch and a removable front hatch, but now I think you all know what other
Yeah,
brands
yeah,
are
yeah.
doing that,
Yeah.
and a third
So-
of the price.
Yeah.
Value's definitely not it. Now
It's not it.
variety.
No, wait, sorry.
Yes.
I want to say something about value. Now, granted,
Be right back.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
So granted, there are some Tomicas that are worth a lot of money. Tomicas that are made in Japan. So for those who don't know, Tomicas are made. There are three countries that produce Tomicas: Japan, China, and Vietnam. All right. So Japanese made Tomicas because they don't make Tomicas in Japan anymore. Are the most valuable, followed by the ones in China and then the ones in Vietnam.
Right.
Vietnam was the latest factory to open.
Okay,
Right.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but the red boxes we see, apparently these are chase boxes. Is that right?
No, it's just a first release box, what? The Tomica
Yeah,
Premium.
I can't remember because like Tomica has changes a bunch of times, and they've changed the order of like where the red parts of the box are and all that. So
Oh.
I'm not gonna answer this, but I will say that like there some of them do have value, but I will say that only the ones
Some.
made in Japan have value, and if they're in mint condition, which is not so easy to find,
Oh.
right? Because the made in Japan ones have the best quality QC. Some of them 20 years later their paint is still fine. Like maybe just a little bit of bubbling, but that's about it, right? But yeah, the ones made in China and Japan are just.
I see. No, back to variety. I think Tomica has a huge variety of cars.
Yeah.
A good variety of cars.
Yeah. I mean, they do things like those random trailers carrying the dinosaur, right? To regular cars.
Yeah,
they
I
do
guess,
bikes
yeah.
as
Some of their
well.
cars
yeah.
have whales inside, like
Exactly,
the whale
yeah,
shark,
yeah, yeah.
the little aquarium.
So they've got a very, I would say, quirky variety.
I think they
lineup.
knew their market. Kids. That's why there's a suspension.
Yeah. Exactly.
Kids will like cars with sharks in them or
Exactly.
dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly.
So they
I
can
think
play with it, yeah.
variety-wise is pretty good.
It's good, yeah.
Right now, brand engagement and after sales stuff, I have had zero experience because
I have no knowledge on this.
yeah, I've never like seen or heard like Tomica reacting or like associating themselves with.
I feel like we've seen them like at MDX or TMCS. But they have a booth there.
Yeah,
But like maybe they have like an event model.
yeah, right.
But like, oh cool, it's a GTR in grey.
Yeah, but for some reason
Colour.
it's always sold out.
for some reason.
You gotta be. It's insane, right?
They probably released like 10 pieces and then like, yo, it's I'm kidding.
I'm sure it's more than 10
No,
pieces.
but it's just it's very fascinating to see. Even Hot Wheels to a certain extent
Mm-hmm.
do insane marketing,
Yes.
but I don't see Tomica doing the same.
I think they prefer to stay in their comfort zone,
Yeah,
which is Japan.
I always tell people Tomica is the dinosaur of the diecast world. That's just the entire conglomerate is just a dinosaur, right? Everything it does is so old school. They haven't changed anything. They just don't want to change anything.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that explains it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I will say, however, the one amazing thing about Tomica is that if you love if you're a big Japan glazer, if you love Japanese culture, right, Japanese car culture, if you're really all about that, Tomica is the brand to collect, right? I mean, they'll release like Nissan Cedrics, they'll release like Morishita fire trucks,
Which
right?
are, I guess, models that I don't think other brands make.
Like
lah,
they're
right?
not even like the normal like hype JDMs that people go for.
This
in
is
the
Japanese
international
economy
market.
cars.
Yeah, they are really it's just really like slice of life Japan, and they do that very well. But that is the only reason why I will collect. I would even collect Tomica or DLVN or that entire umbrella of brands. So with that being said, Ridwan, great. What do you think?
Now I think it's a D.
D.
Agree with you. It's a
I
D.
think Tomica is a D.
It is a D.
I would have put it at E, but we gotta give you a bit of respect for.
I mean, we don't have an E.
We don't have an E.
Yeah, we don't have an E.
I mean,
Alright.
technically we do, but we're not gonna really touch that. Yeah. So it's a
Okay.
D for y'all. For
So
me,
I think
y'all say it's D. Oh,
so
damn.
I would say
D.
it's a D. Unfortunately for me, their refusal to work on certain things just bugs me, and I feel like maybe they've got a huge path that they
Potential.
want to catch up.
Yes.
Right?
yes.
If you one day want to fight with other big brands, you have a lot of catching up to do,
They do.
right? And so because you're looking at trying to fix the brand, the castings, the toolings, but also trying to fix the price points that the premiums come at,
Mm.
right? Or the higher NTL variants or
I
whatever.
agree. I agree.
So they've got a very very long way, and I think Tomica goes for a straight D for me.
Completely agree with you on this. Sorry, I'm very passionate. I'm very critical of Tomica's QC, right? So
Ding ding ding.
so annoying. All right. So honestly, before they fix any of this, they've got to fix that paint. They've got to fix that QC. I
Fix the
understand.
wheels.
Yeah, fix the
Yes,
wheels
sir.
on the main
Yes, sir.
lines, right? All these kind of things.
Yeah.
But I think especially the quality control of that paint is really important. There is no excuse for not clear coating your cars in 2026, right? I mean, there are some cars that we're going to go through the list that have opening parts that are clear coated. And yes, I know that there are a lot of them are real scale, but we have the technology to make model cars that
Yes,
will last
correct,
forever,
correct.
effectively forever, as long as you
Exactly.
take care of them and you take care of them relatively well, right?
Yeah.
Like honestly, for a gigantic conglomerate like Tomica,
Mhm.
Tomitech or whatever, you don't have any excuse.
Okay.
Fix that first, right? And and honestly, yeah, customers will come back. I feel.
To add on to Gable's point, yeah, like he said, dinosaur. If we rewind 15 years back, I think I'll be like praising Tomica for like suspension and nice details and good price point. But now the price increased. There's other brands that can do better opening price. Blah 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 blah.
We've seen the horizon's been moved, right?
Yeah,
We've seen what brands
they're
can
still
do.
like there. They're still like they've been stagnant. So I totally agree with both of you. I would have given it a C minus, but yeah,
No,
they both
it's
give
a
it a
D.
D. So let's go to
Yeah,
a
it's a
D. Yeah, I think it'll be
Yeah,
a D.
I think-
And it's also worth noting I think I only have like less than 5 Tomicas in my collection.
I have
so he only has one. Do you
I have
any?
none.
He has none.
I
No,
know.
I have two.
Yeah.
I sold off
So
all
it's
my,
worth noting that.
Tomicas,
Yeah, it's worth noting that. And you might think, we don't collect Tomicas. You guys aren't fit to grade it. I used to collect Tomicas a lot.
I've sold almost all of them.
Yeah, same. I've sold it over. That's why
And I collect
we-
firefighting vehicles. Like Tomica's bread and butter is firefighting. His firefighting vehicles,
Yeah.
and yeah.
So just want to put that out. Yeah, we don't have Tomicas in our collection, but we used to collect. And we know about it. So D.
So D is fine. I think it's fair.
It's a D.
Now moving on.
Okay, so now moving on to real scale brands.
Yes.
There's no more fantasy, no more tempoed headlight or,
Yeah.
or real light. These are like real scale models which look
From here on
realistic
out,
lah.
it's all real scale.
Yes.
So we're gonna start off with obviously one of the biggest brands in the real scale, that is Mini GT.
Ooh.
Right? No, Mini GT is also gonna be partnered with BBR. So we're gonna do two, actually save some time. We're gonna
We're gonna
bundle
combine
these
them.
two brands
Yes,
up together.
that's
But
right.
it's the same factory. So.
But
use the
when
same
we give it a
factory.
rating, there's always a chance that we can give two brands a different rating.
Yeah,
We have the
right.
liberty to do so.
Yeah.
Now, Mini
Liberty
GT
walk.
and BBR, right? We're gonna do a quick run. We're not gonna waste our time, guys. Now, realistic details. Yes or no? I think it's yes.
Yes.
Yeah, relatively
Right?
good. Yeah, they are
Yes.
the standard.
Very,
they were
very
the
well
one of the
done.
early days also. Yeah, I guess.
I think Glenn has done a brilliant job, right? Now, packaging. This is interesting.
I think their packaging is very clear. I wouldn't say it's like as cool or like as interesting as Hot Wheels.
Yeah, it's not as
But
flashy.
it's an adult collector brand, so we have to give them credit. It looks like the packaging looks like it's for an adult collector.
They know the target audience lah, which is adult collectors lah, right?
Yeah.
Who cares if it's not colorful
No,
or
but-
anything like
but
Hot
Mini
Wheels,
GT
I
has done
guess.
this thing very well. That is
Mm.
blister packs. They have
Oh, right.
somehow realized that some people actually like to keep their cars sealed.
Right.
Really,
And
example here.
So like obviously the boxes and stuff are very generic boxes,
Yes.
but Mini GT they do blisters, right?
Right.
And they've realized that they're collectors that want to keep their cars sealed,
Yes.
but also show their cars
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Right. So the way they've done blisters, brilliant. I think
Red
it's
One
very,
makes
very
a good
well
point.
done.
I think they were one of the, if not the first brand that started doing that. I think Red One
Yeah.
makes a good point.
And then
that,
obviously
yeah.
QC. QC I think it's not that
Yeah,
bad. I think
I would
it's
say
very,
that
very
it's generally
good.
okay.
It's good,
As
yeah.
a customizer, you think it's good as well?
Yeah, I mean, having taken a few mini GTs apart and Kaido houses apart, we'll talk about them later. They're pretty good. They do prep their bodies a little bit before they paint, so that's great.
Awesome.
I will, however, say that I have one or two mini GTs that haven't been painted too thinly, and they are bubbling. I think it's the Audi RS6 is the worst offender I've seen.
I see.
But other than that, generally, I'm pretty happy with.
No, the next part.
QC.
I see.
Value.
Oh.
Now,
I
I
think I'm
think
gonna bring this in back here.
Mini GT holds its value very well.
Definitely in this economy and
In this
landscape,
yeah.
it definitely does. Yeah.
And I think in terms of value, Mini GT was scored the highest out of almost all the brands we're going to talk about today.
So I think example real quick for value is that I brought him here to show him this. The 24 Hours of Daytona this year had a
Mustang.
Mini GT exclusive, the S650 Mustang GT3. So immediately, this was sold I think like for normal Mini GT prices a little bit higher maybe at Daytona at the race itself.
Exclusive
Prices
edition,
immediately jumped on eBay. You can pull it up. They jumped a lot. I managed to get this for a pretty good price, so definitely happy about that.
Every single exclusive that has come out
At
from
events,
Mini
I
GT,
guess. Yeah.
it's going for an insane price.
Correct. Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
And the older it gets, the prices seem to either be stagnant or it
And
it
even
just
at
rises.
normal
Correct,
releases,
correct.
right?
Yeah, even the normal releases.
You know what is a really good example of this is the classic Land Rover. It's the Expedition one.
Oh,
Yeah.
One
the
of
Land
all the
Rover
leathers and
Defender.
stuff.
Yeah.
When that came out in Singapore,
Nobody-
nobody wanted it.
I did bet
All
an eye, yeah.
of the young JDM like kids who loved all the R34s, they were like, we don't care about this.
Yeah.
That same Land Rover, that classic Land Rover, is now going for like $40 and above.
$40-$60, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So in value, one of the best. Now, variety. Now, do they actually offer a huge variety?
I
think they
think I
do.
would say they offer a good variety. Yeah.
Now they don't really. They obviously they do hypercars as well, right? We have the
Hypercars,
Bugattis,
off-road cars. They
the
have
Bugattis.
some muscle American cars.
hey,
Yeah,
they're
so-
expanding muscle cars. They're doing next year they're doing this year a 59 Cadillac Eldorado.
Right.
They're doing the all of the Australian buffers for Falcons. So yeah, I mean,
Just variety is great.
Exotic
Now,
cars, yeah.
brand engagement and after sales.
Oh, this one is
It's a given.
It's a given.
right. I
They
think
would like to go big
yeah.
in terms of their booth, in terms of their marketing and everything. Definitely,
Right.
Mini GT.
They do obviously all the events around the world, right? They get media partners and stuff.
Brazil, shout out to our
Right.
Brazilian fans.
And then obviously
Asia.
this year,
Yeah.
Malaysia Diecast Expo is coming
Yeah.
back.
There was also
So-
we were talking about major just now in the Europe. They also went all the way to Europe, right? They have a mini
yeah,
GT
yeah.
event.
All
sorry,
over
There
the
was
world.
a
released
Porsche
there as well.
exclusive.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a nice car. So obviously one of the once again top brands in terms of brand engagement
very
and
big.
after sales. So
Yeah.
very
They
very
put
well
in effort.
done.
They put in effort to take care
They
of their
do.
customers,
They do.
and they take care of the content creators that work with them. So
They
yeah.
do. So I think with that being said, in terms of me, I would give Mini GT a A plus.
Yep.
No, you
Same
guys
here.
be wondering, hey,
Why is it not an S?
Yeah, why not an S?
Actually, I'm quite curious.
No, the reason is because the other brands that we will kind of touch base, they just kind of have that edge over Mini GT, right? There's certain things, like opening features, for example.
Right.
I feel like if Mini GT ever did opening features, the car brand would shoot up
Oh
immediately.
wow, they'll
Right?
bring it up a notch. Yeah.
Now, obviously with BBR models, because we haven't been speaking about them, BBR
Yeah.
is a lot more reserved, I feel, in a sense.
Yeah.
Compared
Maserati,
to
Ferraris.
yeah, but I mean they've got some interesting castings, right? The Ferrari
I have a few-
F40,
I have a few of them,
F50s coming, the Testarossas up for
Yeah.
pre-order as well. Super excited about these, but I think BBR itself, I'll probably give them a B.
I see.
Right.
That's fair.
Because
because
variety.
the variety isn't there, right? It's just very specific castings.
I think it's a bit weird to grade BBR because I think that's why we say we have to rope them in Mini GT because a lot of the tooling and the factories and all that is Mini GT's
in terms
stuff.
of details and
It's
the-
Mini
yeah.
GT's resources.
Yeah, correct.
It is just that the reason why is because of licensing and BBR, certain licenses that made that is not so accessible by Mini GT, especially Ferrari, right? So I think I would also give them a B,
All right.
right?
For BBR.
I just
all right, just to cut it off, but okay, so we've got BBR for B, right?
Right.
How about Mini GT for you? Just a quick one.
I mean A plus. I agree.
A plus?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, because we don't have time, guys, I'm gonna kind of
Just ignore me, and I'm kidding.
No, but how about you? Because I know, obviously,
Yeah. I mean, for those who don't know, Mini G, guys, I collect Mini GT also. I
He does.
have a lot in my collection. You know, no, really, it's off the screen.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think I give them an A plus too. And the reason for BBR is B. I think the reason why I didn't give BBR an A is that they don't have a big variety.
Yeah.
If they did that supercar treatment on many supercars like Lamborghinis,
yeah,
I'll be more than happy to give them an A. And as for Mini GT, I think a huge point is that if they had opening parts, yeah, I think it wouldn't make sense not to give them an S. But that's not the case. I think we maybe might be biased that we like opening parts. We know that some people prefer cars not to have opening parts. They like the parts to be
I'm
flush.
okay either way. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just an opinion. But I think
Yeah, so
A
I
plus
think-
is fair.
I think it's
Yeah.
fair, right? So we've got A, which is Mini GT, and we've got B for BBR.
Right.
Now, with that two brands, we've got another brand that we haven't been speaking about.
Oh,
That is Kaido House. Now, the reason why we kind of decided to keep Kaido House separate is because Kaido House has, number one, opening parts.
yes.
Number two, they've got this kind of like, how do I phrase this?
unique.
Very
No,
unique.
they are the diecast brand that every diecast brand to some extent wants to be, right?
Yes.
They are just so different from everything else, right? I mean, they're not even 164. They're technically 1 to 59, right? Because according to June, if you've watched any of his live streams, they're actually 1 to 59.
They
They're one to-
purposely do that because
Yes.
they want it to like pop out.
They
from
want the details
collection.
to
Yeah,
pop,
they want
right?
the listen to pop.
And
yeah.
I think that's just they are so unique in execution, right? You either love them or hate them, right?
Correct.
I have friends who will say like Kaido House is the worst diecast brand you've ever seen. Why would anyone even buy them? And I have friends who are like, I will spend thousands of dollars on
Oh yes,
June, for
Black
June's- for
Limited.
June's art.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we bought our first ever Black Limited last
Black
year.
Limited.
Right, we
My
spent the
second
money
Black
on
Limited. I
it.
have 2 Black Limiteds, yeah.
I've got one, and obviously it's now. With that being said, price point. We're also gonna touch on that, as well as the variety. Right, we're gonna rope all of this together. Now,
Yes.
price point for Kaido House. Regular Kaido House actually they go
Great.
for higher than Mini GT, right?
Yeah, below
But
than.
think about it.
Yeah.
You pay the extra $5 for opening parts,
Yes,
right?
and
And
not to mention what? Why is it? Why is it?
I know what you're gonna say, a detailed engine bay.
I mean, I was gonna say
Oh.
the unboxing. I was
Oh.
gonna say the packaging.
Oh, okay,
I just
okay.
want to say when I open a Kaido House, it feels like I'm opening a brand new iPhone.
Yeah. Well
I
said.
love that.
Exactly.
I can't deny that. But yes, I also love the opening parts with the engine. Yeah, that's true.
Because,
Yeah,
You know, some brands can do opening parts,
Yeah.
but then forget to put details on the engine
like
bay.
Hot Wheels and Smash Bros.
Right.
It's
And
like
it's just-
opening part, and then it's just like one brand.
Yeah, exactly. So June, the
I
way
agree, I
June
agree.
does his engine base, beautiful.
They
right?
do.
Even
It
the new
does.
the new
does.
NSX that they have, obviously,
Oh,
or
yeah.
you know the what was it, the BMW M3.
Yeah, the M3.
Right.
Oh, I like that casting.
The
very nice.
A86 just came out recently.
Oh yes.
Then obviously we got June's R32 that came out for pre-order as
Yes,
well.
Yes.
I'm super excited for that. So I think value-wise, it's something that makes you want to pay the extra money for.
It is priced good. Yeah,
Right.
correct. A few more
And-
dollars than Mini GT.
It always appreciates, dude.
Oh yeah, correct.
Right? Look at Black Limited castings.
The
Like
moment
they
they
are-
drop, the
Right?
price goes up immediately.
Okay, for those that haven't been to events, we've been to MDX, so we know. Right? There are people waiting outside the dinner event who will buy
Yeah.
from you on the spot. Dude,
Like after the dinner is
Right, right
done,
after
yeah.
dinner, right?
Because they know what it's worth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes it can go up to thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
It's insane how much value they get. No, brand engagement after sales,
Similar to
obviously
Mini GT.
they travel with Mini GT a lot.
Yeah.
So it's wherever June is, or wherever Glenn is, June is always
Correct,
with him.
right.
I know they're two. They're a, and it's a brilliant partnership, right?
And I would say June goes one step further than Glenn and Mini GT, which is he does his own live streams, his own
Yeah.
live streams, and I've asked questions before and all. I've been interacted.
Oh,
He
I've
answers.
interacted. I mean,
that's
yeah,
great. That's
he
good
does.
engagement.
To be
yeah.
very fair, June will tell you off if he wants to, right? He's very American that way.
I didn't
And
know
all,
that.
in all respect to him, it's his brand. He has every right to do that.
I see.
But I will say, he does his best to answer your questions, and he's also very he's very real, right? There's no nonsense, no bullshit. If he agrees with you, he agrees with you. Doesn't agree with you, doesn't agree with you. And maybe in Asia, that might not be very good customer service. That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, so I think all in all, I think it's brilliant. Now, in terms of grading,
Oh, I think we know where this is going. I think. Am I right?
I'm gonna
Red
put
one?
it as a. In
Oh.
my opinion, I would say it's an S.
It's our first S. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
our
I
first
agree.
Okay.
It's an S
Wow,
too.
interesting.
Yeah.
But I want to know what you say,
What do
Greg.
you think, Gabriel?
Okay, I think really quickly, I'm okay with an A or an S. I think they're great. I think the only reason why I wouldn't give them maybe an S is because I think Jun is an artist. He spends a lot of time perfecting a casting. I'm waiting for his Camaro. Jun, please release your Camaro soon.
You're the man.
But as a result, I think the variety is a little bit of takes a little bit of a hit. But each casting is amazing. There's so much effort in each casting, right? So honestly, I'm fine with either an A or an S. Yeah, realistic detail is a bit hard to gauge because Kaido is so different from everything else. But generally, Jun respects the car that he's the subject matter, right? The car, right? He doesn't turn a Datsun 510 into like a jet-powered Fast and Furious thing, right?
Yeah.
For family.
He goes radical, but he respects the 510 as it is. So yeah, I think A or an S.
How about you?
To put it simply, I think it's if you put it as S, it means that it's better than Mini GT because we put Mini GT as A, and I think it makes sense. Like Redon said, you pay a bit more, you get a nice iPhone unboxing experience, you get opening details and detailed engine base. So I think it makes sense. You pay a bit more, you get an A grade car to an S grade car.
Yeah, so I think now we just gotta decide: is it an S or an A?
I think y'all decide.
I think
I'm fine with you.
I think
it's an S?
Yeah, I think it'll be S. I
Okay.
think it's fair because I think Mini GT is
They're great.
treading a line that might be triggering to a lot of people, right? But they're doing such a good job with it.
You mean Kaido? You said.
Oh, sorry, Kaido.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kaido,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, Kaido. So I think they're definitely an S brand for me.
Yeah.
And now with that, we're gonna move on to Tarmac Works, another big brand, right? Now Tarmac has been doing a lot of great castings in
Yeah, they still acted one of the early birds of a scale brand.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And to obviously once again simplify this process, we're gonna add on Ixo and Shuko with this.
Because they use the same factory.
Exactly.
Yes.
Once again, the same ideology as Mini GT and Baby R.
Yeah.
So
alright.
I'm gonna give the ball to you again.
Sure.
With let's just get the ball rolling
Yes.
and.
So as mentioned, I think Tarmac Works is one of my earlier brands, the scale brands. I remember walking into Geese Greetings, it's like thinking like, yo, what is this brand? It's like so real. Because maybe it's not as easily accessible in Singapore back then. So I have been collecting Tarmac Works as earlier as my poly days, and realistic details wise, I think it's great. I would say maybe some of their cars might have old toolings. It looks a bit chunky. It's not as refined as brands like Mini GT, but overall realistic details is good. Packaging is standard, whether it's blister or box. I'm not gonna repeat the same things that we said for other brands. QC wise, I do recall maybe I have one or two cars with like some QC on it. I think I've heard of other collectors complaining about this. I think in the earlier days.
Sure.
Nowadays, I'm not sure. I don't know about you
I
guys.
can speak a little bit
Nowadays,
about this.
yeah.
So I think QC is a little bit better. They used to be really bad, and
Yeah,
earlier
it used to be
Tarmacs
quite
had
bad,
some
yeah.
very serious paint failures.
Yes, paint bubbles.
Yes.
Like you can see on the
Yeah,
case,
so like
yeah.
the actual enamel of the paint actually failing.
Right.
But that being said, they've improved. I do notice that my newer Tarmacs don't develop paint rash and bubbling so quickly
Oh,
as the
thankfully,
older ones.
yeah.
But some of their older castings, like their RW993
Ooh.
paint has some issues. Yeah,
Oh,
so a little bit worse than Mini GT. That's
But
unfortunate.
obviously speaking of that, obviously Ixo and Shuko now.
Right.
I think Ixo does a good job with their Ferrari castings. Obviously they're licensed, right? For those out
458
there
GTB,
that
all
need
stuff.
licensing for every single brand you own. They are licensed. Some of the Ferraris, I think they're good, right? I have a few Ferraris from Ixo. I think they're very well done.
Yeah, they're nice.
But
yeah.
it's sometimes I feel there's a certain level of hit or miss with them.
Uh-huh.
There are some castings, the one that comes in a magazine box.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh wow, that one. That
They
wheels look
have
chunky.
very chunky tires.
The wheels look chunky. Yes.
Exactly. So
They look like off-road tires.
So that's something that it's kind of just weird for me, right?
Right. I agree.
Variety, yes.
Tarmac, yeah.
Right.
Rally
Obviously with
cars,
Tarmac,
JDMs,
exactly.
yeah.
Right. Obviously we've got Ferrari as well. We've got
Tarmac does muscle cars. They are
and
muscle
then,
cars.
Shuko
Yes.
does a bunch of Porsches as well.
Yes,
A
correct.
huge variety, right? Obviously
Yeah.
Shuko, I think
Great variety,
Shuko does a
yes.
good job as well with their castings,
Correct.
right? Now brand engagement and after sales, right? No,
Mm.
if you look at the brands individually, obviously Tarmac Works does a good job with brand
Yeah.
engagement.
Yeah, they appear in
But-
events and
but
he does live streams.
But I don't
you know.
think IXO and Shuko
No,
does
no,
that,
no, no.
right?
No,
So I think
really.
that two brands kind of just fall down a bit.
A step down from Tarmac.
Just step down,
yeah.
right? And so with that being said, once again, to just speed up this process, I think, in my opinion, Tarmac Works is a A.
I agree. Hey, I think A
But
is good.
but for IXO and Shuko, I'll give them a B. Once again,
Could have said it better.
I feel like the brand engagement is very essential. If your sister company, Tarmac, is doing it, why can't you? Right?
Right.
And if you do, and if let's say IXO releases a Ferrari exclusive tomorrow for an event,
Ooh.
it's gonna be sold out. Trust me when I say that.
Oh, you heard that?
Right?
I think I agree.
And it does make sense.
Like,
right?
why are they
Yeah.
hiding in the shadows?
Exactly.
There's a market for their cars. They
I mean,
should
even
have
Porsches, right? If, let's say Shuko does an exclusive Porsche,
in Europe.
people will love
Yeah,
it.
correct.
Right? You do a Rexy livery, people will go insane.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
Mini GT
Yeah.
has, once again, just sidetrack, Mini GT has done a Rexy and Roxy.
Hmm?
People are going nuts on it. Right? They have, at one point of time, the values skyrocketed
Mm.
for a main line. You can never buy that anymore, right?
Right.
Like, so, there's a huge potential for them.
They do.
But I feel like
agree
IXO and
with
Shuko
you.
isn't doing anything about it. Tarmac Works is trying, obviously,
They're
Francesco,
still
right?
trying, yeah.
He's trying, and I think by showing your face at events, it's more than enough for you to.
Yeah, correct.
Exactly, right?
I mean, I introduced Felix last year at SGD, Singapore Diecast Expo. You know, so Felix does show up.
He was the MC.
I was the MC. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Felix shows up, right? Felix is the founder of Tarmac, for those who don't know. I'm actually really surprised that I'm actually agreeing with you. I think Tarmac is in A. IXO and Shuko, don't need to explain. I agree with you on that. I think I'm surprised because Tarmac used to be like the butt of everyone's jokes when it came to QC.
When
Right?
they've
Yeah,
gotten
yeah,
better.
there was
Right? They were known for just having not that great
back then.
QC.
Yeah,
But honestly,
Yes.
the new one's a lot better.
a lot better.
Yeah.
Now, I know that this is the moment Bjorn has been waiting for the entire video.
What the heck?
Now
We're moving
we've got
on.
two of his favorite brands. In fact, all of our favorite brands. That is Pop Race and
And
X-Car
X-Car
Toys.
Toys.
Now, once again, to make it fair for everybody,
Yes,
right?
I will.
We're gonna
be fair.
use the same. No, not that. Yeah, I think it's never
We
gonna
will
be fair.
Okay.
But we're gonna use the same ideology of merging Pop Race and X-Car Toys together.
Yeah.
yes,
Right?
merge them
And the
together.
reason is because obviously they share the same factory, right?
Yes, they
Yeah.
share the same casting.
X-Car Toys, I
sometimes
believe,
also,
correct me if
yeah.
I'm wrong, is like the China sister
parent brand.
It's
It's
the
the
parent
parent
brand
brand,
of
yeah.
Pop Race,
Yeah.
right? No,
Correct.
we're gonna dive straight into realistic details,
Yes.
right? And I feel like I don't have to tell you anything about it.
Exactly.
Just look at any casting, and in the background you'll see the Shelby Chase right here,
Gabriel was lucky to get the chase.
right? Woo-hoo. It's a beautiful piece, right?
Yeah, man.
Now, realistic details wise, obviously the car. I love the car.
Open the hood,
Yes,
right front to back.
Yes.
Opening features is something that I can never let go. The moment you have
Yes.
opening features like these, the details, right? I mean, he's done videos. I've
Yeah.
done videos, right?
Yeah, in the early days of Pop Race, I was like, what the heck? Like,
Exactly,
magnetic parts, engine
Exactly.
with all the wiring and shit.
Details wise is amazing. Now,
Yes.
packaging is
Ooh.
obviously they have the same. It's almost like Mini GT's
Yeah, the
approach,
box,
right?
Yeah,
The box.
or blister sometimes. Yeah.
And then obviously they've got the blister packs, which is fairly new. It's not something they've done for a while.
Yeah.
It's a fairly new concept.
Correct.
But once again, people do collect the blisters.
Yes, yeah,
Right.
there's people who collect
And
the
then
blisters,
obviously there's the chase pieces as well in the blisters.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So obviously you've done a whole chase video that's separate, but
yeah.
it allows a wider range of audiences to collect the castings,
Yeah.
right?
And also to add, I think I may be biased lah.
Yeah.
I'm probably biased.
Yeah, you are biased.
You're probably
Just
right.
say that you are.
But
It's
Pop
fine.
Race, the art style is probably my favorite. It's
Yeah.
very fun, very vibrant, which matches the brand's style.
Mm.
They're very chill brand. They don't take things seriously. If you talk to the guys, they're very friendly to talk to. They just want to enjoy
Well, they
the
take
brand.
the model seriously. They
Yeah.
take the art of
Oh, I mean, yes,
designing.
of course, sorry. Gabriel phrased it more better than I did. But
More
yes,
better.
I think the vibe, they're more better. The vibe they give off is they are very fun
Yeah.
brand to collect.
Yeah.
And that reflects on the
They are.
art
They're
style.
fun brand to collect.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a huge thing. Obviously, variety wise, I think
Yeah.
the Pop Race is obviously expanding.
Yes,
They
much
are
better
getting
than last time.
More varieties.
Yeah.
Huge potential, huge upscale potentials from
Yes.
there. Now, brand engagement and after sales, one of the
Oh,
best,
one of the best also.
right?
Definitely.
In terms in fact, on par with Mini GT.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I feel like
I think a lot of people will compare the two of. It's not a secret.
yeah.
They're always comparing the two.
Exactly,
you know, who
exactly.
is doing.
I mean,
better
Hot Wheels and
everything.
Majorette might be the legacy big brands, but right now, if you ask me, Mini GT and Pop Race are the next
They're the
big
neo
brands.
brands.
They're the new big brands,
new
and I
brands.
gotta say, I mean, Marchi does a brilliant job, right? He appears in all the events,
Yes.
right? Lance, the entire team.
Shout out to the Pop Race team.
Right,
I
shout out to
love
the Pop
them,
Race
man.
team, right?
Yeah.
Then obviously they have their own team of influencers as well.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for supporting
which I've had
us.
the pleasure of meeting everyone. Obviously,
Yeah.
being shout out to Lee all the way from Canada. But it's great because they're all working together to promote this brand, and the brand is great by itself.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that you're promoting
And I'm
an
really
amazing,
proud.
right?
I'm really proud of them.
And
yeah.
I think all in all, with all the opening parts and magnetic features,
Yes.
the NG, I mean, you guys see.
Can I also say
videos?
sorry? Can I also say something about the QC? I think
Yeah.
as a customizer, I
I
think as a
Customizer, yeah.
as a customizer, someone who's taken apart a
Yeah.
pop race, and taken apart actually more than one pop race so
Yeah.
far. I just haven't gone around to customizing.
Yeah,
all
how
of
was it?
them. Yeah, I mean, I think generally they're really good in terms of like they do prep their bodies before they paint, right?
Okay.
I wish they clear coated their cars. Some of their
Ah.
cars are clear coated, the ones with dark paint. So some of the China exclusives actually have a clear coat over them.
Those like Zamac ones, is
Yeah,
it? Ah,
but I will
okay,
say,
okay.
in like maybe 2 or 3 years, Pop Race went from like using old Eno toolings and Eno packaging
Oh yeah.
to doing something like this,
Creating your own
right?
one.
An
yeah.
electroplated GT500,
Chrome red.
Shelby GT500 with details, right?
Yeah.
With the V8 engine replicated, with the roll cage, with the racing seats
Can you
inside.
bring it to the camera? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wow! Look at that. Pop Race has to get the award for the most improved brand.
Yeah.
Right? They went from just Marshy's dream to a
Create
brand
a-
that is now on almost the same level or the same level as Mini GT
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
in
right.
actually a relatively short amount of time.
So, with that being said, rankings. He just said the answer is on the same level as BGT. I'm going to give it an S. Right, no questions asked.
Yeah.
What do you guys... Obviously, I know where you're going to place it, right? I mean, if there was like a S++ times divided, you would have placed it there. But
You're right.
that's just for
But
the
it
video.
really makes sense. I really don't see why I mean, let me explain why I wouldn't give it an A. Maybe that's how I can explain it. Like, they have opening parts. They make the price really very competitive. For a brand with opening parts and like Gabriel said, they've grown a lot. They used to be releasing the Hakosuka or the Porsche Singer
Yeah.
like in 20 different colors.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
now they have more toolings,
Yeah,
more brands.
But they
so,
grew in such a
yeah.
short time. That is
Yeah.
crazy to
They
me.
grew exponentially.
It's so short. It was so short.
That's why I
How
say
about you, Gib? What,
it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, generally I'm okay with either an S or an A. I guess the only reason why I maybe won't give an S, I mean I'm gonna be very particular about giving an S,
Yeah.
is maybe because I do think they don't they are cute. They could clear code they could clear code their models.
Hot Wheels clear coat their cars?
Only some of their premiums. Most of their premiums do.
Are clear coated.
But at least 64s and RLCs do not usually get clear coated.
Oh, I see. I
Okay.
see.
But I will say, because there are so many brands that don't clear coat the cars, so maybe that's not the fairest thing.
Maybe there's a new norm. not
Yeah,
to-
yeah. I mean, I'm a big stickler for QC because I customize cars. But generally for QC, they're pretty good. I haven't gotten any problems as bubble so far.
Mm.
Rashing, yes. Bubble, no. And in one of the most humid countries in the world, that has to count for something.
Yeah, so I
So
think,
yeah, A or an S. I think.
I
I'll
think
choose.
generally, since it's 2 S's and an A, I
Yes.
think we kind of just stick to S. And with that being said,
X-Car Toys.
Just
can
want to
be the
touch on
same-
X-Car Toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same tooling.
because
They have,
I kind of just forgot to talk about X.
maybe I wouldn't give X-Car Toys an S. Maybe an A. Maybe
Yeah.
it's personal preference
Yeah.
because they make more like military.
Yeah.
Chinese
No,
military
I've
vehicles.
had a
Yeah.
chance
right?
of owning a few X-Car toys. I
Okay.
think they're a great brand.
Yeah.
But they just don't attract me as much as a Pop
Yeah.
Race.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Do I want to have a bunch of like army tanks and
I
military
mean, it's just a
vehicles?
personal
And it's
preference.
hard to compare them, right?
Right.
Against like
Yeah.
So I would put them as an A.
Right, right,
right?
yeah.
But besides all of these, everything else is the same.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, they don't. X-Car toys in itself don't do any events.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
Right.
in China they do.
Maybe
I heard they're
in China-
very big in China.
Yes, in China
Very
they do.
big.
In
Yeah.
China
So
they do.
I would give it an A, honestly, guys. I think I would give it an A.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that is good.
In fact, it's even better than Tarmac Works to a certain extent. So I think an A is a good place for
Yeah.
X-Car
I think,
toys to be.
sorry, just really quickly, there's a really interesting casting that X-Car Toys made. It is a lifted Jeep Cherokee.
Mm.
So it's beyond. Please go find a photo of it. I will send it to you. It
Okay.
is.
Oh,
It is the most. It is the
Look.
coolest. No, it's the coolest casting. Like ever. It's a Jeep Cherokee, but it's just like lifted quite a little bit, like a pretty obnoxious lift. But I was like, X-Car Toys doing that is so fun, right?
Okay.
So I mean, I'm still trying to look for it. It's not an easy casting to find. They only did a small run. But I do own their Hongqi race cars. They have these Hongqi, Hongqi concept race cars, and I do have one of them.
Oh, I have one of them as well. Yeah,
and essentially they are basically like grown-up pop racers. That's the best, right?
Exactly.
They're like pop racers, but for more like discerning collectors.
Nice.
So yeah,
Now we're gonna move on to the next brand, obviously, and that is Trans Hobby. Now, Trans Hobby is a very
young
interesting
brand.
brand.
Very young
It's a
brand.
very, very young brand, but they've jumped into such a high level at such a young age, in a sense, right?
Yeah, they came out of nowhere.
They came out of nowhere.
Sprung out of nowhere.
Right?
Yeah.
And,
Would you believe it? They're actually a subsidiary of RMZ, the RMZ City. You know those
The
like,
same brand that makes RMZ City
They're
makes
a
Trans
subsidiary
Hobby.
of RMZ City.
Yo,
It's
that's
on-
like a
it's
glow
on
up.
polar opposites,
That's a
right?
big glow up, man.
But Trans Hobby itself, I think details-wise, they're very, very realistic.
So far, so good. Yeah.
We actually bought the same Porsche.
Yes.
Coincidentally, what was it, GT3?
992 GT3
992,
R.
yeah.
GT3R. Yeah.
That car was brilliant. It was
I
nice.
liked it. It's nice.
It's the opening hood, right? You gotta give it
With the engine details.
exactly.
Yeah.
So brilliant there. Packaging is the same conceptual
it's
box.
good. Yeah,
right?
It's standard. Yeah.
I think that's the current generation way of packaging. Right? It's
Box.
very, very similar,
Yeah,
very
boxes.
standard. Value of the car, we've yet to kind of see where it goes because it's
We don't
still
have
a
enough
very
info,
new
yeah.
brand, right? Maybe the cars
the
that we
pop
have, the
race,
race cars are
25?
they'll probably do well, right?
Yeah.
But I'm more curious to see like the Porsche Macan, for example. Or recently they released the Land Cruiser.
Right.
I want to see where the values of these go, because they're not castings that you would collect in terms of like you won't collect a multitude of these castings, right?
Maybe not.
So,
for now,
I'm very interested to see
For
where
now.
Trans Hobby
McLaren
go.
Senna, all these. Yeah.
Right. Now variety they don't,
No,
unfortunately,
it's,
because
not yet.
But
Not
young,
yet.
but they're young.
Yeah,
They're
we
still
can't,
young,
we
yeah.
can't fault them for that because they're still young. But if you tell me, 5 years later they still have the same 3 castings,
Ah.
then something's wrong.
5 years down the road, when we're 5 years older.
Yeah,
Or
right.
something, I don't know.
And then like you see like our kids running in the back or whatever. Hey,
Hey, stop running! Hey, child abuse is
I
not.
won't buy a Trans Hobby. I won't buy a Trans Hobby. No more Trans Hobby.
But that's interesting. Now brand engagement and after sales, I've had no experience with them. I've not there's no presence
Zero.
at all.
Other
right?
than the event car in China, I guess.
But once again,
Yeah.
it's a very new brand.
But they've been showing up to the events, and every time they show up, they always show all of the new castings that they're planning and their prototypes.
and no, their
so
exclusives are all sold out and stuff. It's good.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
there isn't just an interaction. You know.
Yeah.
they're still the building phase, right?
Right.
They're
So-
still the TV phase.
Super excited to see where they hit. Right. So I'm gonna give them a solid B.
Agree. Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Now,
Agreed.
this B, and I want you guys to take note of this, is something that might change in the future and will definitely change.
Yeah, I think the keyword
next
is
year.
yet. They
Right?
don't have a lot
Exactly.
of cars yet.
Exactly.
They don't have nice packaging yet. They
Exactly.
don't have engagement yet.
But
Yeah.
from what
so-
we're seeing,
Yeah.
very promising, especially that they're coming in strong with opening parts.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And they are,
exactly.
let's be fair, they're taking out pop race on their own terms.
And with that being
Interesting
said, we're gonna
battle.
move to our next brand, Kyosho. Now, for Kyosho, I'm gonna
Yeah.
hand it over to one of my friends
I can talk about Kyosho. I'm a huge Kyosho collector, someone who loves real scale stuff. I collect
Yeah.
all of their old stuff, right? I think it's important to note that we're going to be talking only about the post Masamu era.
Mm.
So for those who don't know, Masamu is now I don't know. I forgive me. I don't know his full name, but Masamu is the head of now the Kyosho Corporation.
Right.
as it's known.
Yeah.
So he's taken over. He wants to revitalize Kyosho, and they're super big right now, right? They are definitely growing, or they're regrowing, I should say. So we're not going to be looking at the old pre-Masamu stuff. All the post-Masamu stuff we are going to be rating.
Even though I do love the pre-Masamu stuff.
Yeah, I love them too. Yeah,
that.
but there's kind of no point because they don't make them
It's just
anymore,
kinda
right?
like,
yeah. they've kind of mothballed all those.
That's
castings.
defunct. Like that part of it. Is
Yeah,
just-
they've mothballed
yeah.
effectively
Correct.
mothballed these castings.
Correct.
So
Right.
realistic details are generally the consistent Kyosho quality that you all of you know.
Mm.
Yes.
Packaging generally pretty okay. Does its job,
Very
right?
standard, very
yeah,
standard
would-
packaging,
standard.
yeah.
Standard.
QC,
Really?
okay, this is where I still draw the issue because the pre-Masamu stuff all had huge problems with paint rash. Kyosho, like Tomica, is the other brand in Southeast Asia that's known for paint bubbling, rashing,
Correct.
horrible paint degradation.
I
very
went to
quickly.
Inns Point and I saw a lot of Kyoshos for sale. They're very cheap.
Yeah.
For a reason, because
Yeah.
a lot of them have paint.
Yeah, and these are in air-conditioned rooms. These are in
Yeah.
well taken care of environments,
Yeah.
and they're still degrading very
Right.
quickly.
So for the new toolings, hopefully it'll be better. Yeah.
Okay, unfortunately, from what
It's
I've
not-
seen, from what I've taken a look at them a little bit, Kyosho still is repeating the errors of its past. So they still haven't cleared their cars. They haven't clear coated them. It's still, the paint is still really thin, and I am seeing rash on some of the newer light up models,
Right.
like the R32 HKS,
Mm.
right? Value, hard to really say for now. Their models are pretty expensive,
Yes.
and to be very honest, a lot of the new 164, like the Terrell P34, very expensive, but losing quite a lot of value on the resale market. But to be fair, Masamu is still rebuilding Kyosho, so I'll leave this space kind of
Open for now?
open now for interpretation. Variety. Unfortunately, they've only started redoing only like normal popular JDMs like the R35 and the R32.
For the motion series, if I may, I have like they make R34, R32, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just
There
the
is no
motion
problem,
series. Yeah.
Yeah. I think let's leave, but that being said, Masamu once again is still regrowing Kyosho. Let's see where this is headed.
I'm rooting for you.
Yeah. We can't put this in our grading, but like for example, in the 1 to 18 space, he's just released all the Fast and Furious stuff. I pre-ordered the Dodge Charger. Masamu, really good job on that.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered that already. And yeah, they look great, and they look like Masamu is. It looks like Masamu is willing to not just go into normal JDMs, but to all kinds of cars.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Brand engagement after sales. I think this is actually generally good,
Good.
for Masamu very quickly taking over.
They're
Right?
at events. Yeah.
I see Masamu often. I see him engaging with fans. I see him engaging with content creators.
Yes. Yeah.
So actually, generally, even though Kyosho is restarted quite recently, I think let's give this a good grade.
Yeah,
So,
I've had the chance of talking to him over on Instagram as well.
Yeah. Correct.
But he really engages. He's respectful. He's nice.
Very
So-
nice guy. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Obviously, great engagement. But I think with that being said, Gabe, I want to know because obviously you're very well versed in Kyosho.
Yeah, I think all of us is you.
What would you grade Kyosho?
Okay, so if we were only looking at pre-Masamu, it would be a C or even a D, right? Because of the paint, it's just C. D is too harsh.
Okay.
But honestly, I think because Masamu is trying, I'm gonna give Kyosho a B minus for now.
For now, right?
Yeah, but that being said, I think watch the space in a year. I want to see where their the QC of their 164s. But Kyosho, Masamu, if you're watching, please clear coat your cars or consider doing them. Not just your 1 to 12s or your resins, but your 1 to 18s and everything else at 164s especially. So yeah, moving on. What do you guys think?
How about you, Bjorn? What do you think?
I think Gabriel explained it perfectly. It's a B. I don't have much experience other than like the one from the motion series. I mean, I like the motion series. Expensive, yes. Working lights, very cool. Vehicles, very nice. But variety, I guess, is what we're lacking. You know, because right now we only have like the Subaru and some of the Nissan GTRs and stuff. But
And
I'm
one
really,
F1 car, the Terrell P34.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see where they're heading with this new restructuring.
Exactly.
So let's see where they head with this.
Yeah,
Right,
I think B is fair. I think I would have given them a C, but the only reason why I'm saying a B is because of Masamu's contributions and his efforts. I think that deserves the praise, and so I think B is great. With that being said, we gotta kind of see where this and next year takes us.
Yeah.
Right. So I think next year when we do this video again, I think we have hopefully a much better
Things to say about
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But
Yeah.
I gotta say, Masamu's doing a great job. He's got his visions there, right?
Yes, yeah.
And so there's a high chance that Kyosho will always move up.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
here's to hoping.
Is it an S tier brand? Not now.
No,
yeah,
no.
maybe. Not
Maybe.
now.
But you know, if you make the changes, you're not far within. That's what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's Tomica, for example, he's gonna take a couple of decades, right? to do
Yeah.
that.
Tomica is a
But-
bit different.
But
different
Kyosho isn't like that way. Kyosho has the potential.
They are aware, like,
They are
there's
aware.
this new skill market
Exactly,
brand.
exactly.
Let's try working lights and details in the
So I wish
quality.
for someone
Yeah.
nothing but the best, and
Yeah.
let's see where Kyosho heads
Yeah.
up now. With that being said, the last car in this real skill category is poster cars. Now,
Ooh.
Bjorn, have you had any experience with poster cars?
I have had a few poster cars. Okay, details wise, not bad. I think it's great. You know, I have like the Bugatti and some of the I forgot the cars in the back of my mind, but
The Paganis, the
Koenigsegg.
Koenigsegg.
yes. You know, and I
Maseratis,
think
yeah.
realistically it's good. You know, I have no qualms about them. Maybe the wheels are a bit chunky. I think that's the only thing I noticed with poster cars. They all look like they have off road.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
But details wise, it's good. They have interior details as well, so it's fine. Packaging, you know,
Okay, it does its job.
it
Clear
does-
case.
it's just a clear case. They
You can
don't
see
have
the
these
car.
distinct like special backgrounds like they do, so they kind of fall short on that. QC wise, I don't have much experience on this. Maybe you guys can share with this. For me, I mean the cars I bought didn't have any QC so far. I don't know what is the consensus.
I don't
on this.
own any poster cars. I've seen a lot of them, obviously in shopping malls.
Mhm.
So poster cars is like a cheaper mini GT, right? If that makes any sense, right? Like you can't put a mini GT in a department store because maybe the price point is a bit too much
Yeah.
and a parent wouldn't buy it for the kid.
Right,
but you
right.
see a poster cars,
It's
$6-7 cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Sure,
Yeah, it is.
right? So Oh my gosh, I just holy crap. Okay, anyways, forget about that. But I think in general, yeah, I think the quality controls QC is okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the rest of everything is about them is kind of meh. Redowan, what do you think?
Any
No, I
thoughts?
think I mean I once again I never bought poster cars because of the chunky tires. As you know, I'm a huge Koenigsegg fan,
Two of us don't know
and
poster
they've got a nice line of Koenigsegg's,
Right.
And I've always been like, you know what, I should buy because it's a Koenigsegg. But I look at the car, I was like, I need $10, but
Yeah.
I was like, do I want to spend that?
Correct.
Yeah. And the moment I have to think about wanting to buy,
You don't buy it.
I don't buy it because it's
That's
like,
an interesting point,
fair
right?
point,
It's an
fair
interesting
point.
point.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
that's one thing for I would say the QC-ish or the quality of the car.
Yes.
No, value is $10.
It's good. Yeah. You
It's
can't-
I mean, you can't sell them. They'll lose value immediately once you open them
like
up.
but
you
yes,
know,
but it's only
you
$10
pay lesser, so your cars get
Yeah,
off-road
you know,
tires.
it's like, if I mean it's $10, right? If I just top up $5, I can pre-order a mini GT casting, right?
Yeah.
No variety. I don't think they have a variety.
No.
It's
okay.
very, right. You've got like a Pagani,
It's just exotics. It's just exotics.
But they're smart. They're going for cars that more or less everybody in the world likes.
Exotic cars, lah.
Exotic cars, right?
Yeah, exotic cars.
It's not very like niche. Like, oh, let's do
poster.
GDM.
Like the name implies poster cars. It's a
The
car
cars
that's
that
not a
you
poster.
want,
Exactly,
you want
exactly.
as a
Which is
poster.
quite smart.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
which
cool.
makes sense, right? No,
Yeah.
brand engagement
Not
after this.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we can just stop right there.
Yeah.
It's zero. It's
Yeah,
not.
zero.
So with that
Sorry.
being said, what are your thoughts on the grading game?
I think you see.
See?
C, I'm
What is it?
giving it a C minus. Probably. Oh, C. I think it's
Now,
C.
I would give it a C because nothing will beat ever Tomica. Tomica's just like only what I did.
Yeah.
Wait, so is it
Sorry,
really
no offense
better
to
than Tomica? I think.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wanna
Even
know
the
why?
Velcro tires.
Why?
Because-
Why?
It's got decent wheels.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Tomica made like
Okay,
that.
that's-
It's got wheels that have some semblance of reality.
Right? What? Right? You get what I mean?
Yeah. That's
Nothing
true.
would beat a Tomica.
All Topical mainlands are on drain covers, right? I'm like,
Yeah. So. Once
Poster
again, not
cars.
shit on Tomica.
we're
but-
not getting sponsored
yeah,
by
but,
Topical.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I think poster car once again has huge upscale potential. If you just do everything right here and there, improve the packaging, fix the tires,
I think
right?
that's all. Yeah.
Then the cars,
You'll go
then,
to a B+.
add some decals, some racing decals, make it more sportier, right? Because it's all just plain colors.
Yeah.
I think poster cars once again has a potential to
To
go
climb
up.
up to a B plus.
Do they want to do that? I don't really think so,
I don't think so. Yeah.
right? Because if you wanted, you would have already done it by now.
I have people comment on my videos. Yo, you should buy poster cars, and because of those comments, I bought those poster cars. And because of what we said, is the reason why I don't buy any more
Yeah.
poster cars.
So,
But really, in a market with like mini GT and all that,
so I think, yeah, man.
mini poster cars,
Exactly.
right?
We're just looking at the mini GT poster.
Yeah.
Alright, next we've grouped 4 brands together, which is called the American brands. And we have Ya Boy here, who is the most passionate about American muscle. If you guys think I love
Yeah.
American muscle cars, Gabriel is like
Yeah.
5 times stronger. So we thought it would be
That's
best
so
for
much more
him,
interesting JDF.
for him to, for
Also-
him to lead this
Also, he's
topic.
American, so
And he studied American and stuff. Yeah.
he's
Study
from,
there, that's
he's
it.
from America, and
Oh
he's
my god,
Yeah,
just
so-
because I speak English properly.
But the four brands
okay, but
are
better.
the 4 brands for this category is Greenlight, M2 Machines, Johnny Lightning, and Auto World. And I think it's not too unfair to group them together, because if not, this video would.
I think I made the
Too long.
decision to group them together because for time constraints, and also because generally after collecting all these brands for a few years already, honestly all of their strengths and weaknesses are roughly the same.
Right.
So okay,
Awesome.
yeah. So really quickly, I think all 4 of them generally do realistic details. Generally okay.
M2,
I would say
Johnny
Johnny
Lightning.
Lightning is probably the worst in terms of realistic details because some of their castings are still very like they were designed in
The olden time?
in the 1990s.
With
yeah.
printed white headlight.
Before we were born,
Yeah.
some of these castings already existed.
Yeah.
You know.
The tooling is a
Right.
bit
And
old.
before Gabriel
Yeah.
was sponsored, he says like something.
Yeah, I'm a 90,
Back
I'm
in
94.
my days.
Back
I'm
in my
I was
days.
born in 1994.
Wait, is
Yeah,
that
I'm old
another
as
show?
shit.
Yeah.
Okay, these people are all idiots. But some of these
Right.
castings actually were actually made in the early 90s, maybe even late 80s, right? So
Right.
there's kind of showing the age. Auto World is good, right? Auto World is basically the sort of adult version of Johnny Lightning.
Right.
So
right.
yeah, all the super realistic stuff, super details. I would say yeah, all of them in general except Johnny Lightning realistic details about the same. Packaging, all of them are pretty okay, pretty good.
packaging,
Yeah, all pretty good. Maybe I would say the only criticism is that maybe Auto World's one is a little bit boring, but the rest of the other 3, Greenlight,
yeah.
M2, Johnny Lightning, all pretty
Cool
shouty.
car
Yeah,
art design.
a good balance between adult and cool brand and
Yes.
cool designs.
I think Johnny Lightning does a good job.
Yep.
A bit of a tangent also. Greenlight, there's a premium version, right? You want to talk about that Greenlight a bit, which is a bit,
Premium. I mean, no. Generally, all green lights are premium. So
Yeah,
Oh.
no. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
No, this
Yeah, this
particular
one.
green light right here.
Premium. What
Right.
is
it's
it
the
called?
new. It's the new.
It's a
green
new
light.
concept, and
Yeah.
because we're on the topic of packaging,
Right.
I think in this industry right now, they have one of the best packaging.
I love it. I
Right.
love it. Yeah.
I feel like they have poured all of their thinking processes into the packaging itself.
Yes.
Right? The casting, obviously, the Corvette. What was the yellow Corvette that we?
The CR1.
The
The
CR1,
CR1,
right?
001, yeah.
That Corvette was a fail because of the roof.
But packaging
But the packaging
It's
was
good.
insane, right?
It's nice. It's
Right,
nice.
the way you open the knobs, right, the screw at the bottom of the
Yeah.
car.
Yes.
The new
Brilliant.
plastic packaging.
Brilliant concept. I think that, like I said, one of the best packaging in the industry right now.
Yeah.
But
A bit
yeah,
finicky
sorry.
though. A bit finicky. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. No, it's still a good. It's still an interesting idea, right?
Yeah, it is.
Variety
It is.
is variety of across all four brands is really good
Wow.
It's
because
good.
yeah,
It's good.
because not only do they do the normal JDM stuff in general, right? Albeit to varying degrees, but they do a lot of obscure American muscle cars, which
Yes,
obviously I
correct.
love, right?
Correct.
Brand engagement after sales, generally,
I think they
so
have memberships also.
yeah,
They have
so
some events.
Greenlight obviously has changed management a bunch of times.
Okay,
Generally,
yeah.
I'd say it's a bit non-existent right now, but I think they're kind of rebuilding their base. M2 Machines has their own convention,
Oh,
and they're pretty good in terms of like engaging their fans on Instagram and stuff like
They
that.
are. They are.
Johnny Lightning and Ottawa are both owned by the Round 2
Round Two,
Corporation, which is an
right.
American conglomerate of these model brands.
yes.
Generally okay, they have their own YouTube channel, and they do engage their fans on Instagram, YouTube in general. But yeah, very America centric, obviously.
Yeah.
I will, yeah.
And I think M2, they do the creator partnerships as well. So there are a couple of creators that I follow on Instagram that do get M2.
Oh yeah, yeah.
platforms
Okay, now I
as
remember
well.
who. Yeah, correct.
So it's nice to see M2 kind of reach out that way.
I wish you reach out more.
Maybe to reach out to
Okay,
yeah.
but there is one category that I left out, which is quality control.
Ooh.
All of them kind of leave something to be desired. So I think all of them generally, I would say, are not great. A lot of paint rash, bubbling. Johnny Lightning, again, kind of weird. The castings can be kind of old and they kind of need changing.
Yes.
But I think all of them, they just need to clear coat their cars,
Mhm.
honestly. They just need to start clearing them. I know America is a pretty dry place, but if you want to ship your cars to places like Southeast Asia, you just need to clear coat, right?
Yes.
But M2 machines, can I just say, I think their QC is even worse than Tomica. This is, and as somebody who collects their Dodge Charger Daytona,
Oh, Loma.
I have I have all of their black ones. I really do. Like I posted on Reddit and people were like, what the hell, you have all of them? I really do.
He does.
Okay?
He does. I've seen it.
Oh
does.
my goodness, the amount of broken wings, super glue residue that I
Correct.
see, plastic lights falling out, weird design choices. The base is like slanted to one side, you know. Greenlight also has this problem. I bought an old Greenlight once, and the whole car was just off the base completely. And I had to actually drill the rivets in myself. And
Correct. I've had a few cars from those brands,
Yeah.
and Gabriel
Yeah.
described it exactly. You know,
Yeah,
paint
so-
chips or things are misaligned, and
Yeah,
and
so-
for a brand that's more expensive than a Hot Wheels Premium, but cheaper than a scale brand like Mini GT or Cairo or Pop Race.
in some cases more
You know,
expensive actually.
In some cases, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think it's at least for the most part, for they're in the middle price range. At least for us here in Southeast Asia, you know, I think it's what do you think, Gabriel? What would you rank it in this
Okay,
case?
I think Greenlight is the best out of all of them because
Okay.
the restructuring has really helped. I mean, you can kind of
With
see
the
these.
the newer,
These two
the
castings. So
Neo,
this Challenger
Greenlight.
Hellcat is a retool. The C7, the C7 ZR1 is a
nice.
brand new casting.
Yes.
I think they're generally really good. I think Greenlight is headed in the good direction.
Right.
I'm gonna give them a B plus.
Green light for green.
Yeah,
Green light? Okay.
I think Johnny Lightning and Auto World get a B minus or a C depending on I think these two, right? And I'm gonna say I'm sorry, M2 Machines is a C as much as I love them.
yeah, correct.
Yeah, I love their designs. They have I think in terms of the details and the color, they are the most creative. But
I
agree.
cannot agree more.
He correct. I was thinking
mean-
like M2 is C.
Yeah.
Johnny and Auto World, I'll give them a B. Yeah.
I would not give Auto World a B actually. I'll give it a C.
Auto World is a C as well for you.
In fact, even Johnny Lightning as well. My experience with them hasn't been the greatest, if I mean.
I see.
Dude, there was once I opened the Johnny Lightning.
Okay.
The car just disintegrated
Oh,
in
yeah,
front
yeah,
of me.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Right? It's not a pleasant experience
Of course.
to and
That's just so funny there. Now they
But
mentioned it.
mind you, it was for a video. So I do like blind unboxing for you guys, right? My first impression is your first impression. As I was filming, the car just came apart, right?
Yeah.
Right,
It's a weird feeling. So, no, green light, yes, it's a B for sure. The way that the direction, amazing. But auto wall joint lighting and M2, it's gonna be a C for me.
Yeah, I see.
Clear code your
Yes,
cars,
yeah.
guys. There's no
Okay.
excuse.
I think because I don't think auto wall is on the same level as BBR or EXO, for example.
no.
Okay, I see. I think both of you make really valid points, but I think right on the reason why I wouldn't give it a C is for one very important reason, and that's because they cover this untapped market, which is muscle cars.
That is true.
Other brands don't do muscle cars, so I feel like I'm so happy that they exist. Like, yes, I'm sorry that you had a very terrible experience. I've had terrible experiences with the QC as well, but I'm just happy they exist. So at least we get
No, that's fair.
muscle
That's
cars
fair.
from
That's
them.
fair.
So
Yeah.
they cover this whole. So I feel like it's very hard for me to give a Johnny Lightning and Auto Road a C because they there's some QCs
that's
there.
fair.
The variety is very unique.
Yeah,
on its
that's
own.
fair. That's fair.
I think that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
I think I can make do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes me even more disappointing to put Johnny Lightning to put M2 machines as a C because out of all of them in terms of colors and casting I mean they're doing a Ford GT40 Mark II M2 machines.
You know what?
Right.
Just for that, I'm gonna put M2 as a C, as a B. Sorry, as a B as
No,
well.
I think the QC is so bad they're a C.
Really?
I'm sorry.
I think it's a C.
It's a
also.
C
As
as
someone
well.
who collects
Yeah.
all their castings.
So,
Yeah.
alright, I think that's great, right?
Okay, next categoria. I don't know why I still speak Spanish. We have GCD, but we're gonna pair it up with DCT and Diecast Talk also because they're in the different.
Yeah,
same
I mean these are the
factory,
niche
same
real scale brands, right?
Yes,
So
niche.
when I mean niche, we mean that these are brands that fulfill a really specific niche. They're still real scale,
Yes.
but a very specific category. of
Yes,
that.
for example, Diecast Talk, they focus on like a lot of off-road cars or Toyota cars. For those who follow Diecast Talk, you would have noticed that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
It's more
that's,
GCD.
like, very niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think
know what?
realistic details, amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
I think do you remember the casting where they changed the wheel while it's driving? Remember that casting, the one in gold?
Oh yeah,
the Middle Eastern guys
Middle Eastern
hanging
guy.
out.
Yeah, that was
The
so
meme,
cool.
yeah,
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 that's
that's
realistic
really
video.
cool.
That's
yeah.
cool. Nobody's ever gonna beat that kind of realism.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because it projects an actual like event in a car, right?
Yeah.
How did I think of that?
So that's interesting. Realistic details, awesome. I think
Agree.
packaging is very normal.
It depends on
Right.
yeah. It's just acrylic.
There's nothing interesting about, and there's nothing different about the packaging that.
Yeah.
But the only thing is they never screw it to the base.
I was gonna say that.
right.
Yeah, I like that.
So it's very, very interesting. It's good because especially for loose collectors like us, right? Because you don't have to like spend time unscrewing them and stuff. So I think it's very well thought of that way.
I agree.
I will say there's one interesting new product that they just announced a few days ago.
Oh,
That Diecast Talk /GCD did.
LFA.
It is it's a Valentine's Day LFA package, right? So it comes as two passionate pink, one base road going LFA and one LFA Nürburgring
Nürburgring,
package.
yes.
Yeah. So very interesting. It comes in a heart-shaped box. I mean, I have no idea what Valentine's is who is actually gonna get it for Valentine's, but
Yeah.
that's a cool
I'll
Valentine's
buy
Day
it for
gift.
myself.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm my
I'll
own Valentine.
Self Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Self-love is important, guys.
With that, how about quality control? I think
A
it's quite,
customizer, huh? How about you think?
as far as my experience is gone, I think it's good.
It's good also. I have
I've
no
not had
qualms.
any bad experiences. Have you had any bad experiences?
Yeah, I have seen some
Oh.
of their cars do have paint issues.
Especially
bubbling
for the
in
chrome. I think for the
package.
chrome cars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. That being said, in general, what I like about the GD, especially GCDs, is all the off-road stuff that they choose.
Right.
This way.
Unfortunately, some paint issues.
With that being said, value.
Value. Ooh.
Now, the
this is
scale here is very interesting. And you want to know why?
Why?
Diecast Talk has been recently doing a lot of collaborative work.
Right.
The one with Mini GT, for example, right? The charity pink ER34
Yeah,
Super Silhouette.
Diecast Stock Mini
Right.
GT.
One thing they've done is a collaboration, right? They've done a lot of collaborative work,
Right.
right? Like for example, recently I think it was breast cancer. They did a collaboration
Breast cancer
with
awareness,
Mini GT in this pink ER34 Super Silhouette
Mini
casting,
GT, yeah.
which
It's not GCD, but it's a collaboration.
it's a collab. But I kind of appreciate what Diecast Talk is doing, right? Because maybe they don't have the tooling to do such a complex, or maybe the licensing or whatever, but they're doing collaborative work for a good cause in a sense. So that kind of amps the value up of some of its castings, right? The regular castings, they are a bit pricier, I would say.
Yes, a bit more on the price. Yes,
but
right,
I
for
think
what they are.
they're quite good. They've got working suspensions.
Yes.
They've
Turning
got
wheels.
turning wheels as well,
Front wheels turn, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which is good for that price you pay. It's
Yeah.
good. I think it's good, right?
Yeah.
No, variety. do they have a variety?
I would say so.
You would
Because
say
they,
so?
I mean, for example, they do like weird Land Rover Discovery LR4s. They do.
But the variety I think comes from GCD, right? Because they do trucks,
Just that.
right? They do trucks, they do cars. Diecast don't
Not really, not
They
that
don't have the
much.
Maybe
variety
not that
there.
much, yeah. It's
right?
only the off-road.
The most interesting casting is the one, the Toyota Hilux. The Marty,
Yeah.
Marty McFly Back to
Yeah.
the Future.
Yeah,
Correct.
which is a good casting.
It's a
right?
good casting,
right?
yeah.
It is a good casting, right?
They love that,
which we
especially,
saw
yeah.
last year at the
Correct.
Malaysia
I bought one,
Diecast Expo.
But variety-wise, they don't make GDM
They
cars. They
don't.
don't make exotic cars.
I mean, they do. Okay,
you
they
know?
do like some of the really basic ones, like the Honda FT2R, and that's more of a that's a Diecast stock casting.
Yeah, yeah. But
Correct,
when I think
correct.
of GCD or Diecast stock, I always think off-road cars. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. I think
No.
it's cool to stay if they want to stay strong in
Large
their
trucks,
their
off-road
niche.
cars, yeah.
If that's what they're good at,
Yeah,
by all means
why
go
not?
for it. But we have
Exactly.
to state out the fact
Exactly.
that there's just no variety.
And to
in
be
it.
very
Yeah,
fair
you know?
with their like for example the FD2R that they do, there are so many other better brands that do FD2R.
Oh yeah, a lot of
Very
brands make
honest. The FD2R looks like it's an off-road car. It
Yeah.
looks like it's got like it looks like a rally car.
Yeah.
With that being said, brand engagement and after sales. Now, I think for brand engagements, they do a very good job.
Mhm.
We've had the chance of meeting the guys over at Diecast
GCD,
Stock,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Obviously, they do appear at events as well, so
Yeah.
brilliant that way. I think they do. The effort is there. You don't have to do anything.
They're
you just
very
have to be
active
there.
on their social media.
That
as
is
well.
correct. That
Yes.
is correct. Obviously, they do a lot of collaborations with a lot of
Yeah.
influencers and content creators as well.
Yes.
With that being said, we've got, like I said, 3 brands, right? GCD, Diecast Stock, and
Diecast team.
DCT.
I mean the basic two brands.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, where do you rank them? Now, honestly, for me, I think Diecast Stock and GCD would be a B plus.
Oh,
I think it'll be minus.
I think they've got huge potential, similar
Yes.
to Kyosho, which is why I'm putting them in the same level.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, like Kyosho, they are headed in the right direction.
Right.
Right, with the correct determination and push, I think they can do a lot better. Variety is an issue, obviously. At the end of the day,
Yes, correct.
You'll be insanely good, at least because you're not competing with small brands anymore, right?
Yeah, you have your own thing going on, and I agree
Exactly.
with both their ratings. B plus maybe. If they made
Mm.
other, if they increase the variety, I would be more than happy to give
Yeah.
an A.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
so I
sure.
think B.
Makes it, it's
B
a
plus
potential for an
is
A,
fair.
but right now it's a
Yeah.
B for me.
Yeah.
With that being said, we're gonna move on to a brand that's very well known in Japan, right? And that is Spark/Sparky. No, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were the one that taught me this. Sparky is the 164 version of Spark, is it?
No,
Is it the
yes,
other way
sorry, no, you are correct.
Okay.
So Sparky is the
Oh,
1 to
Sparky.
64 like line of
Mm.
Spark models, right?
Right.
But of course, Spark is of course famous for the 1 to 43 models, right? Which is Japan's most famous like model car scale. Right? Although
Right.
164 is a huge out there, right? I think I've got a few Sparks. I will. Okay, so maybe I'll take the Sparks, I guess. So, release details very good. Sparky
It's good.
obviously has
Yeah.
been doing 1 to 43s. They are the gold standard for 1 to 43s.
But 1 to 64?
Actually, it translates.
Okay.
They're really good. Yeah, and generally I have no complaints. It's an A. If we're just on details alone, A for me.
Awesome.
Packaging is not too bad. A little bit boring, but
Yeah.
you can see the car clearly, so I have no complaints. Quality control. This is really interesting because they don't clear coat their cars.
Oh.
I still think they really should. But generally, paint is good, decals are good. I haven't had any serious QC issues with the
same.
164 diecast Sparkies.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
Value. Generally, this is really hard to gauge at the moment.
Yeah.
They are holding their value relatively well,
Okay.
but I think it remains to be seen as they release more, basically more cars, more models, and we see Sparkies kind of mature over time. Okay, variety. I would say actually they're really good. I mean, they do really good F1 cars. I mean, Hot Wheels has their own F1 line, but it is nothing compared
Nothing.
to
Oh, nothing.
realism
yeah.
when it comes
Correct.
to
I agree
to
for the F1.
Sparky,
Yes.
right? So I mean, and generally they do a lot of race cars like the Nissan Delta Wing, which nobody does.
But
only they do.
But they mainly focus on race cars.
Yes,
right?
that's why they're niche because
Yeah.
they really focus on GT3, LMP, or basically any kind of motorsport car. They're there,
Right. So it's worth saying, guys, that obviously Spark or Sparky is also another brand in the list where yes, there's no variety, but they're just specializing in what they do best. So it's
Yeah.
not necessarily a bad thing
No,
that they
not
don't
a
have
thing
the
at all.
variety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A brand engagement after sales. You'd be surprised actually because I went to the Spark store in Japan, in Tokyo, where they have like an old Benetton Michael Schumacher car there. Actually, it's actually really cool. But generally, I wouldn't say it's not as good as maybe as Mini GT or Pop Race, But I would say it's actually pretty good. They do actually talk on social media a lot, and they do actually like
They sponsor some influencers as well. I
yeah,
think,
and they've actually sponsored race teams and all that in the past to for
So
engagement.
very interesting, right?
Yeah.
With that being said, Gabe, because obviously you took the stage, what would you grade them?
I would say an A minus or a B plus, but I'll leave it to you guys to kind of make the final decision. I think the reason why is that because I generally have a lot of their models with rash, so I'm not gonna give them I don't want to give them an A too much. But what do y'all
How
think?
about you, Bjorn? How about you?
Personally, I think a B. Just to be upfront, I don't have a lot of their cars, but like I said, I think because maybe the lack of variety or the engagement, I don't know. It just
Maybe they're too niche. Maybe
it's
that's
just
the best
too
way
niche.
to.
Maybe, but that's just my personal opinion. You know, I think if you're a huge F1 fan and race car fan, you'll be more than happy to give it an A. But for me personally, I'll just give it a B.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. I think variety plays a huge deal,
Yeah.
right? Because this is a list that's combined,
Yes.
right? When you have brands like Mini GT, Kaido, Pop Race doing a variety, right? I can't just judge a brand based on just very specific niche.
Yes.
Now, if we were rating their 1 to 43 is completely different story because they do the weirdest non-race car 1 to 43s in existence.
But that's a separate video for
Separate
us.
video
But I
for
think
us.
I think B is fair.
Yeah.
For Spark to Sparky,
Solid
right?
B. Yeah.
And with that being said, now we can move on to another Japanese brand,
Yeah.
Hobby Japan.
Okay.
Japan.
Yes. Shout out to all of my JDM psychos, obsessive JDM guys who introduced this brand to me.
Honda Civics.
Yeah. Okay, generally, actually, even as a muscle car guy, I've actually pretty good things to say about Hobby Japan. They don't really have Hobby Japans. I've actually bought like 1 or 2 of them, right? I have the FL5 and the Toyota Century. I'm looking for the GRMN version. I haven't found it yet. Okay, but realistic details, very good. Basically, actually, even better than Kyosho to give you some indication, right?
Okay.
Go and collect their Century. Excellent casting. Okay, packaging clear, about the same as Maki to be very honest.
No,
right?
there's no art design.
complaints.
It's just Hobby Japan.
Hobby Japan, blue,
Yeah.
no complaints. Quality control. Quality control is pretty good. I haven't had any QC issues. Their chrome is especially good. I like their chrome pieces on Hobby Japan cars. Value generally
Yeah,
surprising.
how much are they? I think.
So about 30 to slightly over 30.
So
But-
you know pricing around there.
Yes, but some of their, like for example, the Century Gazoo GRMN, which I'm still looking for, those castings can be, I've seen them go $50-$60 on
Ooh.
China and other places.
I
So
see.
in the right markets, Hobby Japan's actually command a pretty good value, right? And in
I'm
Singapore, especially as almost everyone is only a JDM enthusiast, they hold their value and actually in fact increase in value sometimes. Variety. Hard to really judge because they only do
I mean, it's Hobby
popular
Japan.
they only do
It's not Hobby Europe or Hobby America. It's Hobby
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah. I would say because they generally they're very sought after Japanese cars. They do some Japanese cars that only really they do and you can't find anywhere else. I'd say
Really? Like what cars do they do that other brands don't
the
make?
Century GRMN.
Other than that,
I
they
mean,
usually make like Civics and Skylines.
but they
right?
do like for example base model Crowns, base model Evos and stuff,
okay,
Lancers,
okay.
right? So all this kind of stuff not so easy to find outside of Tomica, right? Hobby Japan is their next best bet, right? And Kyosho's been out of the game for a little bit, so yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So brand gave it after sales. Unfortunately, I'm gonna say other than magazines and stuff,
This is
Zero.
I don't really
Yeah,
see
yeah.
much of it. I will also say one thing about Hobby Japan's I like is that I forgot to say this about QC, but they do clear coat their cars. It's a very thin layer of clear, but they do, and that's why a lot of Hobby Japan's even in Singapore don't have rash. They do actually last. Yeah. Not as good as Eno. We'll talk about Eno in a little bit, but I would say still good.
So where would you rate them, Gabe?
I'd say
What would you think?
I'd say a B plus. I'd say they're close to A, right? And this is coming from a muscle car guy. They are close to A. I just think that I like them to do other. Even though they're called Hobby Japan, because
Yeah.
I've been to Japan twice for auto salon. Japanese car culture is not just Japanese cars. Crazy enough,
Whoa!
as much as that's a bit of an oxymoron, they're
Oxymoron.
not. They love muscle cars, Euros, everything, all the weird stuff.
Yeah.
So they really should, instead of just like only doing Japanese cars. But I'm sure a lot of my JDM friends would strongly disagree.
I saw a
with
really
that.
cool like 1960s Stingray when I went to Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool, man.
Yeah,
I love.
I think you're right. I think B is where they are.
But a high B,
It's a very, very high B. I think Hobby Japan has the potential once again. But once again, variety tails it off, right? We've spoken about this with other brands.
Yeah, similar topic. For me, I'll give it a C. I
You
don't
give them a C.
I don't have a single Hobby Japan, and here's why I wouldn't give it a B. I just feel variety. Yeah, Hobby Japan should make Japan cars. Fine, I'll close one eye on that. But I feel like I beg to differ a little bit on what Gabriel said about the cars
There
they
are a lot of
make.
angry
I
comments.
feel like other brands that already make Civics and Lancers and stuff, so I don't feel the need for another brand that only specializes in these to make
Yeah.
these cars.
I think the niche about Hobby Japan is if you don't want modified cars, if you want the most like basically the best example of like a stock car,
right.
that doesn't, for example, cost like prices and above, you go to Hobby Japan, right?
But once again, it's very, very niche.
It's just for me. It's just not my thing, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will agree with me. I'm sure a lot of you guys love JDM, but how many of you actually has a Hobby Japan in your Exactly. I'm sure most of you collect the other brands. That's why I give it a C. Yeah.
I see. So that
This just but most of you give it a B.
I
So
I think it's
it'll be
I
the B.
think it's a B. I
I
think
give
think
it a
it's a
B,
B
yeah.
because it's got potential.
you can't deny their cars are well made.
So I think we can. We can.
I've seen them definitely, but just like why I said that.
So
I
I
just,
think if whatever you mentioned, I think just by addressing variety solves a lot of issues.
you will maybe bump it up to a B minus. Yeah.
Right. So at the end of the day, I think it's got huge potential. Once again, it's a brand that we'll come back to, right?
Yeah.
Just like Trends Hobby and all of these other brands, we'll come back to it next year. Now, with that being said, we're gonna go into a very interesting brand. And that is Para 64.
Para 64.
You're
Oh, I
interested
see. I like
about
how y'all are looking at me. Yeah.
Because obviously I've had 1 or 2 Para 64s before.
Yes.
I know you've done videos on
I've
the-
had a couple of them. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's get the ball rolling. Realistic details. Oh damn. Okay, so
Say less.
I think they're just like, I would say they're like the majorette of like scale brands. So they're cheaper, they're more affordable ish, but obviously it's not as like precise as some of the other scale models. So that's why I kind of reacted there. But if you're looking for something cheaper, and they make very niche cars too, I guess, like the RUF, which other
Roofs.
roofs.
I mean,
roofs.
Mini GT has a bunch of rules, but they do like they
Shuko
do-
does rules.
I guess that's true. Oh, then I guess I just backfired my own
Oh,
point.
they
so
do,
scrap it.
they do make one of my favorite weird cars, the
Which one?
CZ Marauder V16T. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
what was that?
if you know, you know. It is a really cool car.
I see.
It was what the Lamborghini Diablo was supposed to be, but it didn't. Okay, but anyways, they do a bunch of weird cars. De
Yeah.
Tomaso Pantera.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Only
true.
if you want a Pantera 164, there are 2 sources. Either you go Hot Wheels or you go
Para
Para
64.
64. That's really it.
Yeah, so okay, I guess we covered the variety as well. But back to details, they have plastic lights, plastic rear lights, so that's why they're still good.
Yeah.
Packaging, it's
Does the job,
standard.
serviceable.
Just
the
just
boring,
yeah,
yeah.
but that's why it's cheaper, right? Because they don't put in the money to design the packaging, so it's more affordable, I guess. QC wise, based on my experience, I have had not much issues about it. How about for both of you?
Oh my gosh.
Whoa, I guess I
this-
got lucky.
I have seen some paras with paint coming off or
damn.
bubble with huge bubbles.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know about the newer paras. I haven't bought a para. Actually, I haven't bought paras because I had a BMW i8.
When was the
from them
last time you bought a para? Mine was like that time I got
3
the-
years
like-
ago.
Oh, damn,
I had a
that's quite
para,
long,
and
yeah.
it was so bad. It rashed to hell. It was just falling apart paint wise.
Yikes.
So yeah, I wouldn't rate them very well.
It's worth noting, by the way, that out of I think the 3 of us, he takes the best care of the cars because he has those silica gels.
silica gel, I
and
wax them,
He keeps
yeah.
them in like under the bed storage and
Yeah,
everything.
I have dry storage and everything.
Yeah, so for those wondering, like y'all might be like having your
I'm-
pitchforks in the comments saying, "Oh, y'all don't keep your cars properly," but
No,
That's
I
not the
take
case.
I
He does,
I'm
he does.
especially careful.
so for value wise, like I mentioned just now, you know the details not
Yeah.
there. But if you're looking for a cheaper like acrylic box standard, then Para is definitely the brand for
sure.
you.
For
Yeah,
sure.
and lastly for brand engagement, it's none. They do have social media pages, but you don't
That's
really
about
see
it.
them at the
Yeah.
events. Which once again links back to the value because they don't do marketing, they don't do events, they keep their prices low. So just worth noting that,
Yeah.
that's why they don't do it.
So with that being said, what would you rate it?
Okay, so for now to rank it, probably like maybe a high C. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's a very budget friendly scale model. So I'll give it a C plus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
budget
you're right.
friendly
I think
scale
C
model.
is fair for them.
Yeah.
I would
Once
put
again,
Yeah.
it's not gonna beat Atomica. Right. So C is where it is. It
Right.
stands. I think this list will end, but Atomica's gonna be the reigning champion.
they're not gonna be happy with us. Yeah.
But
I don't care.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
Price 64, like you said, price is a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's also like another stepping stone for a lot of collectors.
Correct. Yeah.
So I would give it a C, right? Well,
Yeah.
Gabe?
See.
If I could, okay, honestly, because of how bad their paint is, I honestly would give them a C minus. But that being said, because they do, like I said, they're a niche real skill brand. They do some cars that nobody else is willing to do, like the CZ V60T. Beyond, please put a photo of that. It's such a cool car.
Whoa.
Okay, it's a 16-cylinder engine. It's one of the only few cars in the world that came with a 16-cylinder engine. But yeah, I mean, even though they do weird castings, it's just hard to justify any higher than C. So C.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And the last one for our niche real skill brands,
Ooh.
I don't know why I'm saying that voice, is Oz Wheels, eh?
Oh
Oz
my
Wheels.
gosh.
Yeah, I think I've had a few Oz Wheels cars. I think this might be more in, I don't know, Gabriel's ballpark. How about you?
No, I think definitely it's a muscle car realm, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Australian muscle car.
Australian muscle cars, right? But
Aussie.
yeah, all yours, Gabe. I think
Okay.
you've got more experience.
Yeah,
in this
so
than us.
okay,
Yeah, I'll give like
shout
2
out
or
to Uzi
3.
Wheels.
Right,
Okay, can I just say shout out? Okay, I'm gonna start by saying shout out to Uzi Wheels and their team. I think they do an amazing job with brand engagement and their after sales. They really engage with their fans. They talk to their fans at their shows.
Australian Diecast Expo.
Yeah. Variety. Okay, I think everything else is a bit hard to rate because they're kind of new, right? And
Yes,
I also think that because they only do Australian cars, maybe some people may not be interested in them in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
But props to them for trying, and also props to them also for doing some interesting cars. Like, I think realistic details is not too bad, right? I would say the only thing is some of their cars have no interiors.
Alright,
Which
just
makes
blacked
it-
out windows.
Yeah, which makes it hard for me to buy.
But I think that's for the early releases. I think the newer releases
yes,
have.
I've heard that they are focusing. They're trying to make them more real.
That's what we heard. Yeah.
Yeah. Packaging is interesting. They're creative. I wouldn't say they're very good looking. They're very Australian, right? Their packaging is a bit rough and tumble, right? Especially some of their 2 car sets are quite interesting.
Right.
I wouldn't say they're like super beautiful, but they're definitely interesting to say the least, right?
Mm.
QC, not too bad from what I've seen. A lot of their cars are like matte paint and like satin, so rashing isn't too much of a problem, right?
I guess they're
but
still so new that you don't know whether the.
this watch this space remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Okay. Value, unfortunately in Southeast Asia not great because not many people are interested in Uzi
No one is
wheels.
importing them here.
Yeah, but that being said, there is one Uzi wheel I'm looking for, which is the Mad Max Ford Falcon that just came out.
Yeah.
The Super Chase is about 200 Singapore dollars on eBay right now.
Damn.
They have Super Chases. They have these really hard to find chases. So
Understand.
quite interesting. I'm also looking for Smoke Bamba, which is their it's a Holden Monaro with a huge blower. Really cool.
I
Hard
need
to find
see
as well.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the picture.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks Bjorn for
Alamak.
Yeah, so variety is a bit hard to rate obviously because they only do Australian cars.
Yeah.
So generally I think they're really cool. I'll give them
Overall?
I'll give them a B minus for now.
I was thinking of that.
Yeah, I don't think they're a C. Given that they're really sort of putting themselves out there and doing something that no other diecast brand except now Mini GT will do. So I don't know.
I think B is fair. I
a B
think
minus.
for
Yeah.
effort and for vision, I think B is only fair, right?
B minus also.
B
yeah.
about
They're out there.
They're
They're
out
doing
there.
their thing, and for an early brand, I think they're doing good.
Yeah, they've got
So,
potential,
yeah.
but once again, it's left to see where they are.
We'll see how-
progress.
Will
Yeah.
you send me a Ford Falcon Chase, please? Thank you.
You
Now,
heard the guy.
with that being said, we are done with the niche real skill brands. Now we're gonna dive into our last few brands, and that's under the high dollar
Ooh.
real
Premium.
skill brand.
So
Right.
just to preface, these are all models that are
Right.
that are higher than Mini GT's price point. So high 20s to
30s.
30s,
over
40s,
$100.
whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna start this off with Motor Helix.
Ooh.
Now,
Okay. This is
Red
an
one, you
interesting
wanna
one.
take this one?
yeah,
This is a very
because I
interesting
think Motor Helix was a brand that I never really gave a chance until very recently.
Right.
I've had a chance of having the Mizuho exclusives for the Singapore Diecast Expo last
yes,
year.
Yes.
Right, so I had the Chase and the. I mean, we both have.
We have T2R from
the
Singapore.
media,
Yes,
the
the T2R.
media partners. Huge shout out to Korea, obviously, for giving us a gift.
Yeah.
But I think after looking at the castings, I kind of realized that they're actually good. I think Motor Helix has done a good job.
Yes.
They've got once again a huge potential, right?
Yes. A lot of them are
Um,
talking about GCD now.
No,
Yeah.
realistic details. They've got opening hoods.
Plastic
once again-
front lights.
Exactly,
plastic
right?
lights, Yeah.
It's good. Packaging is the same acrylic case,
It's
right?
the same case, guys.
So I mean it's not bad, right? But it's not anything bombastic as well.
yeah. So standard.
Right.
Yeah.
Standard QC wise, maybe Gabriel can talk about QC
Good.
once.
Yeah.
I would say they're good, they're solid. Generally, a lot of my really OCD JDM collectors who collect Motor Helix,
By their thoughts?
yeah, and these guys are very hard to please, but they sing praises of Motor Helix.
Yeah, I mean even the new ones with the magnetic hoods, right? Awesome.
I just bought the
right?
HKS FL5,
Exactly.
the new one that just
Oh,
came
yeah,
out.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a good casting
Yeah,
by
yeah,
itself,
yeah.
right? No, value. I think they hold the value quite well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's yet to see how or where the future leads us to.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not sure about this
Yeah,
also.
I need to kind of see how the resale markets react to this because once again,
That's fair.
and that links to my next point of variety. There isn't a lot of variety.
Not yet.
Not
I guess.
yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But I want to talk about that as well because recently we've seen the photographs of the Koenigsegg castings.
Oh.
Now when
okay.
these come out, it's gonna be insane because it's got your doors in the front and
the
the
usual doors, the front and the back.
exactly, and it's
Functions.
all literally
Yo.
the entire Transformers mode right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be important. That's gonna be awesome, and I'm super
Yes.
super excited about
And
that.
also alongside the Koenigseggs, they're also collaborating with Greenlight to do a S197 Mustang GT Shelby GT500, and they're doing the Ford GT Mark 1.
Oh.
So Motor Helix is going out from just JDMs. already.
So they might not have the variety now,
not now.
They will.
but they are working on it. So I think with
Yeah.
that being said,
Yeah.
obviously brand engagement and after sales, I don't think there isn't much.
Not much. I mean, they're at the events. I
Right.
guess they appear
But
at events,
obviously now
DMCS and all those stuff.
recently
yeah.
they've been a lot more active on Instagram
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
right?
Media.
So I think once again it's coming up. I've yet to see where it leads to the next
Yeah.
year. So with that being said, I personally would give them a B plus.
I agree. B.
Oh, I'm gonna give him an A plus.
A plus.
I think even as a muscle car guy and looking at just at JDM stuff
Mhm.
in 164, they're clear coated with opening parts, right? Because generally people think, oh, clear coat means no opening parts. No, they clear coat with opening
Yeah.
parts, right? I have never seen anyone complain about the QC issues, and if the OCD JDM collectors here in Singapore can sing praises of them, that
Right.
tells you they're doing something right.
But you're right, and I agree with you. But
Yeah.
once again, variety.
Yeah, it is true.
I think I agree.
So-
Once they release the Shelby and the Koenigsegg and they improve the packaging, I would be more than happy to give them an A.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's one of
Okay.
those brands, right? Which I would put a B
Alright.
plus
And I also thought
with the possibility of it
when
moving
y'all were
up.
talking about that, I thought one other brand
Who?
very similar to this, GCD. I
Ah.
feel like they're in the same
Yeah.
caliber to me in terms
Wow,
of the
you are-
packaging,
there's a lot of people
opening
gonna question
opening
you about that.
hoods, the variety.
Okay.
You know, I just
Okay.
feel like I think that's why when I saw GCD there at B, I was like, I think
I don't know, as a sucker for good quality control and attention to detail and realism,
yeah.
I think Motor Helix
No,
is
I mean you're right.
is-
No,
is-
don't get me wrong. You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
I
If
think
not, yes.
variety plays a part.
Yeah.
That is true.
All right.
Oh, that's very fair.
Which
That's-
is why I would put them as a B now. But when we revisit this next year, once all these castings
Give
come
us the
out,
Koenigsegg and the Shelby,
and the Ford
and we
GT.
give you
it's
the,
gonna
and
move up to an
then
A,
we give you
right?
the A. Yeah.
It's gonna move up to A
Okay,
for
that's
sure.
fair.
Because
But
if
I
you
think
give- yeah.
as of now, I'd be looking at today's Motor Helix conditions,
It's B,
situation,
yeah.
it's a B,
High B, yeah.
right? Obviously it's a very very high B.
Because if you give
right?
it an A, just to if you give it an A and they make the Koenigsegg and the Ford GT, do they go to an S? I don't think so.
That's fair.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
So I
that's
think-
fair. That's
right?
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with
That's
that
why
being
I- that's why I
said,
personally
Motor
know
Helix
a B,
is
yeah.
A.
B.
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 Now,
Yeah.
with
B+.
that being said, we are gonna dive into the next brand, Inno64.
Eno,
And
okay,
we'll give
so
it to
I
you.
just want to put a precursor. I think Eno and Pop Race, they're like best buddies. So I might have some bias when I also give my opinion on this. But starting first, realistic details. I mean, when you talk about the R89C and their
Yeah,
cars in
these are-
general,
yeah.
I think when it comes to like acrylic models, scale models, Eno is definitely like top right there. When I take photos of them and videos of them, they do look
Yeah.
realistic. One of the most realistic ones. Packaging, also one of the best. A lot of the brands we've been seeing so far is like generic packaging, acrylic box. But when it comes to events,
They make
or-
clear cases interesting, right?
yes, they
That's-
put a
that's-
background and the box.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, yeah. And also, can I just say QC? Because as someone who loves QC, right,
yeah.
very particular about QC, they're excellent. Everyone talks about Eno as the gold standard for QC.
Are they clear coated?
Yes, they are.
Ah.
They have the thickest.
Ah.
Eno has the thickest clear coat in the industry.
Oh, no wonder I was
Oh.
gonna say I have had no issues with.
No, there is
Eno
a
so
reason.
far.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
and
that
shout
being
out to
said-
Francesco
yeah.
for having the foresight to do that. Their cars will stand the test of time, and they're really really good.
Very
So
nice.
yeah, and no QC issues I've seen. Hardly any from them. So,
Yeah, I think value wise, it holds its value
Oh, yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Exclusive models go for insane prices, dude.
correct.
And it just goes to show how much people appreciate them.
I think the collector base do appreciate
It does,
what
it
they
does.
have.
And
you know.
with that being said, variety,
this is I think where they take a bit.
yeah.
a bit of a hit.
R34s every week there's a new R34.
Unfortunately, guys, I have a entire display shelf for exclusive cars.
Right, and
Right.
they're all
They're all R34s.
They're all Eno. They're all Eno
yeah.
skylines.
Right, exactly. So I think variety-wise, it does take a bit of a hit.
It does take a hit, yeah.
Right?
And
It would be cool to see Eno do a
something else, yeah.
Ferrari, Koenigsegg,
Ooh.
Pagani, Bugatti, whatever
Muscle
it
cars,
is.
please.
Or muscle cars, right? Your Mustangs, your
Yes.
Mustang Boss, your Corvettes, your
They have
whatever,
so much
right?
potential.
I think they've got a lot of potential that way.
Correct.
And I think Eno has the capacity or capability to do that,
Yeah.
right?
And I know some of you are saying like, oh, if you don't like them maybe releasing the same car over and over again, just don't buy it. Yeah, it's true. Like if you look at the car by itself, it's nice. But if they re-release it, we can choose not to buy it. But you have to understand, guys. Like as a brand, if you just keep on releasing the same car over and over again, that speaks something of you.
Yeah.
That's why we have to say that. Yeah, if you don't want to buy the same car over again, it's a free country. Do as you please. But we
Right.
have to say that out.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And then last been brand engagement after sales.
Pretty
Well,
good.
I think
it's
it's
good. Yeah, it's
right?
good.
Jesco.
Yeah.
They've got huge brand presence.
Yeah,
a
they're
lot
everywhere.
of event presence as well.
Mr. Worldwide.
Right? So I think that very well done. With that being said, obviously just to speed things up, what are your gradings, boys?
Hey, without a doubt.
Hey.
Hey.
I would give them an S if not for the lack of variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that
It's just
it's really sad to see being a little bit risk averse.
Mm.
Considering they've actually done non-JDM castings before once or twice. But yeah, I think they need to be a bit
Yeah,
take a bit more
I think
risks.
variety plays a part, right? The R89C, great.
Yeah, that
Right.
was
But
good.
that's kind of the starting to its opening feature
Yes,
journey.
we hope
right?
to see more of that in
So-
2026.
So obviously, if that comes and the variety comes in, right, Eno has a chance to become an S tier brand for sure, 100%.
agree.
That being said, we're gonna move on to CM models.
Okay,
Sir?
so I asked to talk about CM models. I asked to start the ball rolling because I love this brand, to be very honest. I watched another review where another diecast influencer was very, very critical of it, quite unfairly so. I feel. So yeah, this diecast influencer was really critical about CM, and I think unfairly so, right? Just because they don't make a lot of JDMs, right?
It was sad.
Yeah.
A bit
Can I just say,
frustrating.
like, I think if I had to recommend any like brand for a collector who just want a really good cars, CM models would be it, right? Realistic details is on point. Nothing bad to say about them.
Nothing.
Opening parts they're already doing it right now, so it's great, right? Packaging kind of boring, but very clear and it protects the car very well. No complaints there. Quality control, excellent. I've never
It's
had a
good,
problem.
it's great.
Their clear coat is almost as thick, if not as thick as Eno's.
Yep.
They're well done, right? Every time I open up their cars, it's always a treat to see them roll properly and have no problems, right?
Yes.
Value is great. Generally, they hold their value pretty well. In fact, I've actually some Enos like the Pagani Zonda Revolution prices have
Some
increased.
CM models, you mean?
Yes, some CM models.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, some
And
CM
it's also
models.
worth noting that sometimes they come with extra wheels, so
They
it
do.
makes it nice.
The swappable
you know.
wheels
I like that.
is
I like
I
that.
forgot to mention it. Swappable wheels are a very creative idea.
Yeah.
And it also means that you don't have to disassemble the whole car. You just
Yeah,
pluck the
correct,
wheels out,
correct,
put
correct.
new
I
ones in.
personally don't swap the wheels out, but it's just nice to have the thought that
I
I
do
could do that.
usually.
Oh, you
Yeah.
do. I don't. But it's nice to have the thought that I can
Correct.
do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Variety is great. I mean, the only thing is that they don't do any American cars, but
No.
Japanese and exotics definitely on point, right? Colors, exclusives.
It
all
can
on
be
point.
better, yeah.
Could
a
be a
lot
little
of
bit better,
Paganis,
but-
McLarens, LFA maybe, but
Yeah.
a lot of some.
No, but I think
Subarus.
variety is great. I think
I think it's good. It can definitely
be better.
oh,
yeah.
for sure. I
Yeah.
think
It's not mini GT level.
but at least they have
No,
some
definitely
variety,
not. Yeah.
right?
But at least they have something.
And with that brand engagement after sales, amazing, awesome. I think they're one of the nicest people out there. We've had a chance of meeting them at events as
Yeah,
well.
they also at events.
They
pretty
do event
frequently.
exclusives, right? They're always there. They're promoting the
They're
brand.
active on IG
Right,
and
they
Facebook.
speak. Yeah, so it's awesome that way.
Right.
And they when I was there at the CM booth, for example, at MDX last year, right? They greeted me in the same way that they greeted them, and they know who these two are as content creators. But they still said hello.
Oh, yeah.
What models do you want to buy? We'll do our best. Tomorrow we have some more. So I felt the warmth.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I
for
I mean,
sure.
customers.
it's worth saying that I think most of the other brands do that also, just to put that out. Yeah.
I mean, Glenn does that.
Ah, yeah,
right?
right,
Glenn's
right, right.
huge in that, right?
right. Yeah.
Now, with that being said, guys, grades.
S.
Ooh, damn. I can give it an S because is this the variety once again?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's an S.
I think it's a low S.
Unfortunately,
Ooh,
I
I
think it's
see.
a low S. Obviously, variety kind of knocks it down a bit,
Yeah.
but I think the casting they have right now, it's good enough for you to place it in a very top tier of diecast
In
cars.
terms of
Yeah.
details, I guess.
terms of
I
detail.
can't deny
Think
that.
about
It's
it.
so good.
Think
yeah.
about the Pagani Utopia casting. For
Oh yes,
example.
of course,
Right?
Yeah.
The way they
removable
integrate the, yeah, right.
Yes.
The details are
Yes.
fantastic, right?
Right.
The Yesco from the Koenigsegg Yesco that they have,
Right.
right? The paint job is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Right?
Right.
the swapping wheels is something nobody else does.
Nobody else does that.
In this
True.
entire
It's very
list right
unique,
now,
yeah.
guys, we've spoken for a couple of hours already,
Yeah.
but nobody else does that.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And so I think they deserve that respect
S.
to be on the S tier diecast
Oh.
brand. Obviously, maybe they're not as high as Pop Race or Kaido.
Yeah, I just
But-
feel like in terms of variety, like Kaido and Pop Race has like much more. So for me, that's why I felt like A, cause they're so good, but do they have that
I think
much
to me the QC and the level of detail
compensates for it?
cancels.
Fair
balances
point.
it
Fair
out.
point.
I think
Yeah.
I think CM is the low S.
All right, so it will be an S for CM
Yeah.
Auto. I can't deny that. I mean, although I personally would give it an A, I wouldn't disagree if we're giving it an S. Yeah,
That
so
is
it will be
correct.
CM.
And with that being said, we're gonna move on to LCD.
Yeah. So I also asked to talk about LCD because I used to tell people LCD is basically a better CM models, right? And that was how a lot of Singaporean collectors who were
Yeah,
interested
I can see why people will say that.
in this real scale space saw it as, right? In the past, a few years ago, if you had to pick, LCD always wins. LCD is a more expensive and better CM.
Right.
But
right.
now
More
CM has
expensive.
closed the gap a lot. Okay, so what I'll say is that everything that I just said about CM can be applied to LCD,
Right.
maybe except with brand engagement and after sales, right?
Ah.
Because
Correct,
I think
correct.
LCD they're really a Chinese brand, right? So they don't engage with like the non-Chinese speaking audience as much.
Ah, yeah, right.
But
that
the
makes
moment
sense.
the moment you can kind of speak Mandarin and you can engage with them at a show, I've done it a bunch of times. They're great. They'll talk to you.
Awesome.
They're very nice, right? But maybe just not as they don't really do as content creation and engaging in the same way as CM.
Just cut you. I think there's some variety to LCD as well. I think currently I feel like there isn't enough variety for the
Maybe
local
not.
I think
yeah,
I think it's the
not-
same.
not yet.
I think
It's
it's
almost
the
like
same
CM
as
model.
CM,
I think I
yeah.
agree with Gabriel. It's like CM model, but it's like more expensive.
Yeah.
But also like more refined with the cloth and everything when you open it.
It's a
not-
little bit like I said. LCD is still a CM, but just that little bit better,
Yeah.
right? But
Right.
all of the problems with CM can be applied to LCD. So essentially, just the little bit lacking in terms of variety.
So
With
final
that being
grading?
said, final grading for you, Gabe.
Gentlemen,
I think LCD is.
What would
giving
you
it an
say?
S also. Same what I give for CM. It will be an A minus, a bit lower than CM because of what Gabriel
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
Do you know some LCD cars like the Pagani Utopia? The base is carbon fiber. The base is textured carbon fiber. Who does that?
Right. I mean, but
Who does that?
but the thing, yeah, obviously because you're paying the premium for it, so
Yeah.
you get all these.
I mean, the
carbon
models
fiber,
are 40, 50 sing, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
yeah.
I kind of feel like it's on a like A plus.
A plus. Why is it not on
Interesting.
S?
I think price point is huge in this, right?
You don't think the price
if you're
justifies?
looking at CM and no, the thing is it does.
I think
Right.
it does.
But I feel like CM and CM and LCD they're so similar in a lot of aspects that why should I pay 50 for multiple?
When CM
LCD?
model actually does a very good job with like the
That's what
testing
that's what I'm feeling,
I
right?
kind of sense that as well.
And
yeah.
so I think financially there's that decision to be made as well, right? Obviously we all have LCD models in our collection.
I got a few,
yes.
So we've had the
Their
experience of
detail is amazing.
they just got a Koenigsegg license, so more Koenigsegg's are coming. But am I gonna buy like a bunch of them?
Yeah.
I don't really
Oh, it's
think
gonna
so.
burn a
And
hole in
now
my
Motor
pocket.
Helix, now other brands like Motor Helix
Exactly,
is doing
and
Koenigsegg.
so but I would buy a bunch of CM models, right?
Right.
Because they're still affordable in that range.
Yeah.
So that's why I'll give it an A plus.
Okay.
Right.
But I think
Same, maybe an A plus.
yeah,
as well.
and I mean I do see where you're coming from. I think obviously it's
Correct.
an S tier in terms of ideology and the thought process they have,
yeah.
but it's $70. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's 50.
I mean,
it's
50,
our
high
exclusives
50,
were
50.
60 plus, right? The
Yeah,
ones
around
with-
there,
correct?
50-ish,
So,
yeah.
so it is a pricey car at the
But
end of the day.
I buy 4 already. It's already $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
that's one thing to just kind of like the reason why it kind of knocks it down.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a high A plus.
High
Okay.
A plus, definitely.
Alright.
No qualms about
Okay.
giving it an S, honestly.
Yeah.
So between A and S, yeah. Okay,
Exactly,
I'm fine
exactly.
with that.
So once again, when we come back next year for another video, we'll kind of take it from this and
Yeah,
we're gonna
that's
edit it
the
accordingly.
The biggest threat to LCD is CM models. That's
Correct,
really
correct. With that being said, we've got Ignition Models, Auto Art, and Almost Real. These are 3 brands that we're gonna talk together.
Yeah.
Kind of just chuck
And
them in
PGM,
together.
I guess.
And very quickly, the reason is because generally we talked about this a lot. We believe that all of the strengths and weaknesses of these 3 brands are roughly the same. So just to save time and just to kind of like make it very easy for y'all to kind of see where we place these brands.
Yes.
We don't want us kick us off.
Yeah, well, Ignition Model, Auto, and Almost Real, right? Now, I recently saw a few Almost Real castings. I think they're very well done.
Yeah.
I think the car
I have
looks
theirs on there.
nice.
Yeah.
Right. As a content creator, I would love doing videos on them.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
It was actually in this house that I filmed my first ever almost real casting,
Oh.
courtesy of Gabriel, which was
Zonda.
the Pagani Zonda,
Alright,
right?
Yeah.
Autoart does 164 Koenigsegg's. A few other, I think the initial D castings, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of is a slap to variety. There is no variety in the
So
164
to be fair,
scale.
maybe we might have not uncovered some cars that they released that we don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I mean,
at least
obviously,
from us, yeah.
Autoart, everyone knows it as a 118. It's a
Yeah,
118
it's a
dude,
118
right?
It is
dude,
the
yeah.
It's
grandfather
like
one.
when
Correct.
you say Autoart, you don't think of 164.
I don't. I really
You think
don't.
of 118s, right? So I
Correct.
think that's where it kind of loses out in a sense.
Yeah.
Now, today's grading is for the 164 version of Autoart. There's no connection to 118s,
No.
right? Now, almost real Autoart and then there's ignition models. No, guys, if you guys realize ignition models has been losing value recently.
Yeah, they used to go for like 60
They were
$70.
$60, $70. Right now it's going for like $30, $40.
I bought one recently for 25.
And nobody wants to like buy them.
Yeah.
Right? So prices are dropping. Now, realistic details, they have insanely good details, right?
All three of them do, yeah.
Yeah, the packaging is obviously the standard.
Standard lah.
But
the details is
the ignition models that I own have a nice base. It's got like nice like textured, like grated base and
right,
stuff.
right.
So it's good. The effort is there, right? Quality control is, I would say it's
At
good.
this price point, it has to be good.
It has to be
It
good,
has to
right?
be good.
Thank God they are for all three, yeah.
Yeah.
The value, like I mentioned, for Autoart is good. It actually retains its value. Right, the 164 Koenigseggs have been like $50 for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Right? Almost real retains the value for as far as I've seen, right? But unfortunately, ignition model kind of falls short. They have been losing the value for some reason. Now,
Yeah.
variety.
And having owned one or two old ignitions like the NSX, we are seeing even the cars with the matte paint, some bubbling and rashing. So some ignition models are kind of showing their age already.
Yeah, so we say obviously variety. I don't think there's a lot of variety.
Almost Real is probably the best variety wise
Correct,
because they've
correct.
got exotics and JDMs and Euros.
European cars.
So like,
yeah,
they've got some their S classes, their Mercedes S classes are really nice, for example.
That's right.
But yeah, again, all three of them in 164, they don't do American stuff. Initial only does JDMs. Autoart only does
Right.
one or two
Yeah.
Euros from like One Gun Midnight,
Yeah.
the 930 Blackbird, Koenigsegg,
Yeah.
and just all the initial
Yeah, so you see, there's a pattern within these three brands, so that's why we're kind
So
of
yeah,
lumping them up
and
together.
brand engagement after sales is 0. Sorry.
Nada.
So it's just it's just 0 full stop and then we just move on because there is nothing at all,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
that
you
being said-
see Ignition at Tokyo Auto Salon in their shows and all, but yeah, there's no real engagement
No.
outside of like Japanese
There
models.
Oh, they
isn't,
do.
there
I
isn't.
didn't even know about that, which shows that exactly that they don't have engagement
Yeah,
for my eyes.
it's
And so with that being said, grading. Where would you grade them? So obviously we're going to do individual grading. So let's start with ignition models first.
For me, it's a C.
I think it's a high B. I think it's a B plus for me.
I think
Their castings are so great.
I think ignition model right now is a C
Okay.
because it's lost value.
Yeah,
It sucks for a brand like them
Yeah.
to lose so much value in such short time.
They have suffered from all the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it has claimed.
I don't know what they're doing to rectify this.
I have no
What,
clue.
because at one point in time, ignition model used to be quite high in
Yeah.
the
People buy them.
They were the pinnacle.
They
right,
were.
of-
People
They
are paying
were.
$60,
So
$70
it
for them.
sucks to see them lose so much value, and I
Yeah.
think that affects the brand a lot, right? When it comes to Auto and Almost Real, I think they're all B. Sorry, Autoart's a B,
I think almost was an A.
but Almost Real's an A.
Right.
Almost Real has huge potential, and I really hope they continue doing more castings.
Yeah.
It's an A that obviously we have to kind of look into it next year
Yeah.
because it's an almost new brand. You get it, Almost Real.
I knew they were gonna say. I knew they were gonna pull that joke.
Hey, you gotta post the joke,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
it's right there.
Yeah.
But
for me, I don't have enough knowledge to
Mm.
about Almost Real and Autoart, so I'm leaving it to them to decide
Yeah.
about this because I really don't know much
yeah, I mean,
about
the-
this.
well,
Yeah.
as a creator, right? When I saw the Almost Real, it's nice colored film,
Ah.
right? The paint job when there was this Porsche with like this glossy finish, it's beautiful. It's
Okay.
beautiful.
I mean,
It
okay.
is
I'll
beautiful.
take your word for
And
it.
I agree with
know.
Autoart as a B because Autoart, I mean, yes, the 164s are great, but again, they're not clear coated, number one. And number two, they're like, some of them are $40, $50 for a 164, right? With no opening parts,
Yikes.
no clear coat, right?
they've
Good
gotten-
details, but are they worth 50
They've
Sing.
gotten too comfortable. They used to be the king of like
Yeah.
maybe 1/64.
At this point, it's a name brand.
I have an Ottawa like Centenario and maybe some other. I
Yeah.
don't know. You know, back then it's like whoa, so cool, but
No longer there.
no.
The only
gotten too
audio,
comfortable.
the only Ottawa 164 I have is the Algera RS, right? Now, granted, the carbon is amazing. Like you can feel the weave actually. So,
Ooh.
I mean, Ottawa are masters of these kind of details at 1/18, right? But is it really worth $50 for
Yes.
no opening parts, especially when Moto Helix is gonna come out
It's not.
with Algera RS with
As-
full
as
opening
of now,
parts?
no.
2026.
With that being said, we can't come to the last brand for tonight.
Are you guys tired? Are you asleep?
I'm not tired.
are you awake?
I am excited.
But that is
I love this kind of
PGM.
Yeah.
Now, PGM, I gotta start by saying not all the castings are licensed.
Maybe we're not really sure.
So,
From what I was able to dig up, a lot of the Japanese stuff is, not all of the European stuff is.
Wow,
So,
it's a bit of
take it for a grain
question
of
mark.
salt.
Yeah.
right? Which is why we left it for the last. But PGM wise, I think details are
Of course.
it's best.
Opening
It's one
parts
of
and
the best.
clear coated, yeah.
It has to be. At this
Right.
price point, it has to be.
Exactly, and it is.
Yeah.
Right, the details are amazing.
Yeah.
Packaging is beautiful. I think the circular base that they have, some of the PGM castings,
For
right,
some
the
of the special
RWBs,
releases,
right?
right.
I think it's very unique. Albeit it's a circle, so it's very difficult for you to display them
Oh, yeah,
anywhere.
that's a good
Right?
point.
It does kind of like consumes unnecessary
It's
space.
like those old Hot Wheels 100% cars with the tire.
The old school
yes.
ones. Yeah.
That's why.
Right? Now, quality control wise, I've not heard of any major
I'm not familiar
issues.
as well. Yeah.
I think it's respectable enough for it to like sustain.
Shout out to Roman Nicholas, biggest bottle, the
Biggest
customizer. He's the only guy I know who's taken apart the PGM down to bare paint, to bare metal. And
That's insane.
the amount of like he's a very patient and very hardworking guy. The amount of times he was like, I'm about to give up on it was a Ferrari F40 by PGM.
Okay.
The amount of times he was about to give up on customizing that car, I don't know whether he even finished it or not, because of how intricate those cars are.
Ah.
The netting of like some of the back of the F40 is all like a separate piece and everything.
Oh,
So
damn. The
And-
netting. Yeah, I know what the mesh, right?
the
Yeah,
mesh,
I know
the
what
wire
you're
mesh
talking
that separates the engine.
Damn.
From,
Okay.
And that being said, value. I mean, come on. It's expensive.
Yeah.
There's cars, the moment it hits the resale market, boom, it shoots up. Right? I mean, PGM's like what? Yeah, 100 plus.
Yeah.
In the
And,
resale
and
market.
admittedly, I scratch my head when I hear that. To tell the truth, if I go to a hobby shop, I see a PGM. Wow! I pick it up, I look at the price tag, I'm like, shit,
on.
and I put it back.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
wow!
will, I will say that there are some PGMs that do lose value. I don't know if you all remember last year at DMCS, there was actually a seller with a whole tub of PGMs that he was trying to
Yeah.
liquidate, right?
Is it a
Because
good price?
at like 70-60 Sing.
Yeah.
thereabouts.
760 is considered a good price.
No,
Yeah.
but if you see, there were resellers that bought it from them, immediately flipped it. He was selling a 760 to
Sell at
unload
100
his stock, right?
Yeah.
But the value is there, right? You can flip the card.
I
almost
wasn't-
to-
I wasn't
he
aware
was
of
trying to
that,
flip them,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
I
So
didn't know that. I didn't
I
know
think
that.
some of them will flip.
But there is no. I forget variety of a decent amount of variety. Not the best.
Okay lah. I've
Right.
seen a few of them in the hobby shops before.
But I would say more so than variety, right? Their engagement after sales is zero.
Yeah.
that's why zero as well. They're one of those brands. Yeah.
Just full stop. Just ta-da.
yeah.
We're done, right? But I think PGM kind of speaks for itself, right? Especially the opening features and like, the details. I think it's good, but once again, variety kills it off. With that being said, guys, how would you rate PGM?
Hey,
How about you, Bjorn?
I don't have any PGM models in my collection. I've only seen them. I don't think I have enough knowledge to give this a ranking, so I have to pass this to you, Redwan.
I'm gonna put it as a B, unfortunately.
Oh,
The reason
really?
being, the reason is because with opening parts being the pinnacle of pop race, right, which is a
that's true.
$25 car.
PGM is
Why would I today pay $100 for a PGM with a circular
The
base?
RWB also, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, alright.
Guys, pop race just released
The RWB.
Stella Artois.
They announced it,
right?
yeah, right, yeah.
Why would I
Go
get
for
a
the
why would I
Well,
get a PGM?
The PGM Stella has opening doors and the opening rear. Pop Race only has the opening.
Correct. So for opening doors, I'm paying like
Two
two
times
times
the
the price,
price.
right?
That is fair.
Why? So I'm not saying it's a bad casting,
Yeah, of
but
course.
because of that, it kind of loses out.
Of course,
right?
of course, for that amount of money.
At the end of the day, guys, when I do content, you guys want to see all this cool stuff around the car, right? Yeah, you guys love PGM. PGM's great. Don't get me wrong, but just for opening doors, do I want to pay like $70 more?
That's fair. I mean, there are some collectors who will. There's some collectors.
No, for
who
sure, for sure.
Come sure.
But
for those market.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Right.
That's fair.
Because as content creators, we have to buy a
This
lot
is,
of cars.
yeah, this is our list.
Yeah. Right. Once again, obviously he's.
So what's the final grade, boys? We got an A here, we got a B here.
I think it's a B high B.
I think it's a high
Let's
B,
compromise into a high
right?
B.
I think price and variety destroys the ranking from an A.
Right.
In fact, if you ask me, if PGM maintained or took care of all this better, they could even be an S tier at one point of time. Right?
I think they were an S tier, but unfortunately, Pop Race is now doing opening parts.
But
Motor
I mean,
Helix is-
correct.
I mean,
used to see
it's
them-
just common sense, right?
Yeah.
Pop Race and PGM, they're doing almost similar ideology or concept. One's $30, right?
One's
$130, right?
I mean, that bit more. That
Exactly. Just so I can
more
open the
detail.
doors. Right?
Which are fragile.
True.
And PGMs are also fragile.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And so, for me, I would say it's a B, right?
B, yeah.
It's got the potential, like I said, to be an S tier brand.
Yeah.
But because the price point, because it's variety, right? It just once again, I would love to own a PGM, but I just want to. I wouldn't own a whole Detour full of PGM.
I do know some collectors who hold
Yeah,
Detour
for sure,
PGM.
for sure.
Damn,
Yeah.
bro.
Right. But with that being said, I think are we towards the end of the?
I think that's it. I think
the
that's all
end.
the licensed brands.
All
yeah.
of the brands.
It's
There was
been
some we couldn't cover, so like Furuya, Well Art, J Collection, Hanging, Ebro, Norev,
Yeah.
Tiny. I mean,
Rago.
kind of
Yeah.
there are all different reasons, but generally I thought we covered all the important ones
Correct.
that kind of are represented in Southeast Asia.
Correct. Yeah.
Now let us know what you think. So what you thought about this video, right? Do you guys agree with us? Do you
Definitely
disagree?
not. I'm sure you all have
Right?
your
I'm
own
sure you guys have
ranking.
your own opinions as well. Let us know in the comments down below, guys.
So
Yeah.
with that, last few questions we want to do,
Yeah.
right? So I think the first one is going to be, right? Generally, overall best diecast brand for each category, for each
Okay.
of our rubric.
Okay. So I think for realistic details, I think the most realistic for me would be PGM. I know I just like talked a
Just
bit
talk about
negatively,
it. Yeah.
but I think at the end of the day, they've already done something that's so hyper realistic,
Yeah.
and they've done this for a while already,
Yeah.
right?
At a cost.
Pop Bridge is new to this,
Yes.
right? So I think PGM gets the award for most realistic details. You guys agree or?
I would agree with you, but I also think that PGM has only done a few cars in that level of detail, right? They're not as broad as let's say CM. I
That's
think
right.
CM to me is, if you look at just the number of cars that CM gets right in terms of realistic details, I think CM kind of actually edges up PGM, despite the fact PGM is opening doors.
That's also true.
How about you?
I think it really depends. If you're talking about opening doors, is that considered realistic details? Or
Yeah,
those
yeah.
without? Yeah. So if it's opening parts, then definitely like PGM. I
But
guess
CM does more realistic, gets more cars right realistic.
at a lower price point.
Yes, than PGM. Even though
Alright.
PGM's each individual casting has more details.
Right.
'cause
So
of
I
the-
think I'll lean maybe PGM or CM.
Yeah.
It's either one.
yeah,
guys.
it's the other one. No, next up,
packaging.
packaging.
Okay.
Uh,
Which brand does the best packaging for me? My gut feeling, you know what spoke out the
What?
best? Kaido.
Okay.
iPhone unboxing. Oh, but Pop Race does that too. Now that I mention
yeah,
it.
but it's only for exclusives.
That's true. So
Yeah.
Kaido
Right.
is the
So I think
okay,
Kaido gives you a very premium feeling.
Yeah, that's for me. I choose
Right.
Kaido. How
Yeah,
about you
I would
guys?
choose Kaido as well. I think Kaido does it very well.
Yeah.
PGM does it a bit well as well because they've got the black.
But it's
right?
a bit too
Over the
adult.
top.
It's a bit too grown
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I mean, I know some of their bases are wood bases. Some of the bases actually have like a wood finish.
yeah.
But it's like
But I
it's a bit
think-
too adult.
I think Kaido wins it for packaging.
Honestly,
No.
you know, for me, I think
Which one? Wait. Here's
Oh.
a different answer.
Hot Wheels wins
Hot Wheels has the best
Oh,
packaging.
packaging?
Oh, in terms of art.
because of
That's
just,
true.
it's
I
so
can't deny
creative.
that. I can't deny
Look
that.
at his
Correct.
wall. Look
Correct,
at the
correct.
number of how. Do you see a Kaido, even a Pop Race or a Kaido house? I mean, the boxes are up there, but
That's true.
mounted on his wall, right?
Yeah.
The first thing you see is the Hot Wheels car.
I'm glad
fair.
Gable brought that up. Maybe because we opened up our car, so maybe I didn't think of that. But now that Gable highlighted it, Hot Wheels just make nice packaging art. But in terms of the unboxing experience, Kaido is number one.
Sure,
That's fair.
sure. I think
That's
that's one way to put it,
Yeah.
right?
Next,
Now, QC, quality
Oh,
control.
okay, this
which one
one.
you have to answer?
Yes. I think honestly, I know I've kind of glazed him a little bit, but I think for me it's
So CM.
it's okay. I think there are some really good brands. I think for me, CM, LCD, they're all kind of my best
Up
QC.
there. Okay.
Yeah, they're the gold standard.
Awesome,
Okay.
awesome.
Ken next.
Value-wise,
Ooh.
I think right now, Mini GT has the best value, the best bang. But
You think it's Mini GT?
I think it's Mini
Okay.
GT.
I think it's Pop
No,
Race.
but you're right. Pop Race is very very close by because Pop Race's pre-order value is slightly higher than Mini
It's
GT's
more
pre-order.
expensive, I see.
Mini GT's pre-order starts at about 1550, right?
That's
Pop
right.
Race
Just
is-
a little bit more accessible
Yeah.
than Pop Race.
Right.
But if you think about opening parts and stuff, then it's obviously worth to
Yeah.
to,
right.
to buy.
Which is why I guess I
Pop
would
Race.
lean towards no surprise Pop
But
Race.
yeah,
I would
I-
be willing to pay more money for opening parts.
But
you know,
I
like,
think
what the hell?
if it's a casting that Pop Race doesn't do, I think Mini GT is
Yeah.
one of the best.
But I think
Fair
for
point,
me,
yeah.
look at the Almost Real Zonda R and the Zonda R that Pop Race is about to release. The Almost Real Zonda R is 75 Singapore dollars. The Pop Race is slightly over 20 Singapore dollars.
25,
Exactly.
24.
For a
Exactly.
third of the price, you are essentially getting the same car with slightly worse details. But
With magnetic parts.
yeah, even Almost Real doesn't have that. Almost Real, the parts kind of just slide
Exactly.
in,
Yes.
right? And it's, yes, Almost Real has better details, but are you really going to notice it?
Yes,
Are
sir.
Three
most
times more,
young
yeah.
collectors really going to notice the huge
Probably
difference?
nobody,
I don't
nobody.
think so.
Now variety,
Ooh.
Tomica wins. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, no.
I'm just kidding. But in my opinion, I think it's Hot Wheels.
I was gonna say the Hot Wheels.
It's
Okay.
Hot Wheels.
To me,
Because-
toss up between Hot Wheels and Mini GT.
Because no, the thing is, you gotta understand when it comes to variety, right?
Mini GT don't make toilet cars.
Nobody will ever beat Hot
We're
Wheels.
talking about real scale, dude.
No,
Okay, fine.
no, because we've already discussed about main lines and everything,
okay,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
I think in that way, Hot Wheels wins by a large
That's fair.
scale, right?
That's fair.
Because like I said, June or like even June or Glenn, they're not gonna make a talking car.
No, but
Yeah.
it's fair. But real scale wise, I agree.
But real scale wise, Mini GT,
Mini
they have
GT
done
wins.
what 1,200 different castings,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because you guys can see the number on
Yeah.
the boxes,
Over
right?
1200.
So they've done over 1,200 different castings. That's a lot of castings, right? So Mini GT for sure. But if you consider everything else, then I think Hot Wheels takes the crown for variety,
Yeah.
right?
That's fair. That's fair. I think
And then lastly, brand engagement and after sales. A very tough one because we've got a few that's pretty high on the list.
Yes.
So I want to ask Texas.
Texas.
Yeah. What do
Wow,
you
you're
think?
asking the non-content creator for brand
Exactly.
engagement
Yes.
and after sales.
Exactly.
What's biased?
What do you think is a one brand?
That you feel it's like popping out the most. You
It's
know?
popping up the most. I think it's still Mini. I think it's still Mini GT. I think if you look at just the scale of their brand engagement, but having gone with you on many shows and seeing which brands actually engage, like have quality engagement, and you get a personal relationship with like the content creators, the customers. I actually think Pop Race kind of edges it out.
On that area more, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I think Hot Wheels does a really good job with like engaging. It's just that they do on a very different, large multinational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say it's Pop Race as well.
Yeah, I'll say
Uh,
Pop Race as well.
Obviously, honorable mention will be Mini GT.
Right.
But Pop Race, I think, kind of just ages over,
Yeah.
right? The way they do their dinner events,
Yeah.
especially dinner events,
They
right?
do dinner event.
The,
yeah.
the way they do their, the event engagements, for
I
example.
would like to obviously people are like saying, oh, but Hot Wheels does that too. Yeah, in America.
Yeah.
Sadly, we're not in America,
Yeah,
so
Exactly.
we can't say.
So we don't experience that, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
we're getting our first collectors convention this year for
So
Hot
that's a
Wheels.
step towards the right direction.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. So let's see where that hits to, right?
Yes.
Now, we are done with that. So next will be our favorite overall
Race.
diecast brand.
And lastly, developments in the 1 to 64 real scale realm that each of us are looking forward
Yeah,
to.
new stuff we're looking forward to.
For me personally, when I was in TAS Hong Kong, it was the Greenlight RC car. When I was there, I didn't think much of it, but now I'm thinking about it like, wait a minute, that's actually pretty cool.
It's cool.
It's something I liked as a kid. When I was a kid, I wish I could control my Hot Wheels car, and now it's actually happening.
why not?
Yeah,
Why
it's
not?
nice.
Why not the Hot Wheels one? The Hot Wheels RC that has already come out. Why?
It's too. I think I don't know. Like so far, they only released like
The Panama 32.
Yeah, so-
Because the question is developments that's already out.
yeah.
Oh,
you know?
okay, fine.
And
Alright.
obviously the details.
Yeah.
Right. The
just make it
details.
difficult for them. You know?
Like, can you imagine as a content creator, I have a realistic looking
Yeah.
car that looks very real. That's like driving on a car. From that perspective, that's why I would like
Alright.
the
Yeah,
the
interesting.
green light one. Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Gabriel?
Wow. Okay. I actually have a lot of developments I'm really looking forward to.
Choose
I've
one,
been
choose
only
one.
yes, I've been only instructed to choose one.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's definitely all of the kind of opening parts that are coming out this year. I'll also shout out Frontier Art. I think Frontier Art, as you know, the huge popular resin maker, they're coming in with the 164 diecast base, right? And if you look at the photos, beyond please, if you can pull the photo
Oh,
of it,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, lama.
If you look up the blow up details, the sort of the blown out details of the car, they are primed, cleared, painted properly. They are really works of art. And as a customizer, I'm a huge stickler for these small details that you don't see. I love that, and I'm extremely excited. And they're both Koenigsegg's, Singaporean Koenigsegg's, and they are first two 164 models.
And for me, I think it's
Something
the I think it has to be the Motor Helix Koenigsegg or the LCD Koenigsegg, right?
Yeah.
I think Motor Helix with the opening parts is going to be very interesting to see how they kind of engineer that dihedral synchro helix doors.
Dihedral.
But let's see where that goes, right? Super excited to see. So obviously, as a huge Koenigsegg fan, this is going to be massive. It's going to be big for me. But
And the Kaido House camera, I'm sorry I had to put that in.
Oh yeah. And the Kaido House. Hey, I think Kaido House they've been teasing us with camera for a while. BBR with the F40 and F50.
I want to do one for MDX, please.
But-
June, get it out before then.
But with that being said, we've come to the end of this very, very informative and a long video.
We have no idea how long the video is.
Thank you so much for slowing out me, guys.
How long is the timeline?
But let us know what you think about this video. Let us know in the comments if you guys like the video. Alright, obviously you guys might not agree with us, but
Definitely
let us
not.
know,
Yeah.
right? what
Please,
you thought.
let's keep it civil.
Yeah. If you guys think
The
that we were
comments.
unjust to Tomica and you think Tomica's an S tier brand,
Explain why.
That's why as well, right? And maybe we might change
Explain
it.
why you're wrong.
No, but yeah, I think that's
Okay.
gonna wrap the video up. All yours, Bjorn.
Yeah, guys, thank you for watching this. We have no idea how long this video is at this point of time, but thank you so much if you've stuck all the way.
Yeah.
If you guys watch the entire video, please, what should they comment in the comment? Hashtag
Comment barnacles.
Okay, comment barnacles in the comments if you watch the entire video, and
Yes.
we're gonna pay close attention to your comment because it shows that you really watched the entire video.
Yeah.
So yeah, without further ado, I hope you all have a good day, good evening, wherever you're living in the world, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you guys. Take care.
Adios.
Peace.
Bye.